Okay, so we got all that sorted out. Time is 11:16. We got everybody here. You guys ready to get started now that we've sorted that out in advance?
Yep.
Okay. Cool. All right. So pretty quick recap of what happened last time is that you guys were still doing a dungeon sweep, or dungeon crawl rather, on the enemy space station, like the company space station, and then you found out Mwahaha was all a trap engineered to kill you. So after fighting your way back to the hangar, stealing enemy dropship, you are now en route back to your ship, which is currently being chased by a fucking Conestoga class troop transport. So, as I said before, one option I will give you, because it's going to be about a 10-minute flight back to your ship. If you want to use nap relief or use your signature item to recover stress, now is the time, because you cannot do that during a space battle. And banter would not apply here because banter requires being in a safe, secure situation, which this is very much not.
Yep, I will just use nap relief.
Okay? So anybody who wants to use nap relief or just use your signature item to burn one stress, you absolutely can. I got a message and
Don't worry about it. I'm just
okay.
showing you what I have,
Oh,
just to
okay.
make sure what you have.
Okay. Well, I think like if you look in the ships, you can see like the crew assigned. So
Oh, okay.
that's how you know. You can click on each ship, so it'll just move paths off to the side. So yeah, you are en route to the Black Gauntlet, and assuming everybody has done whatever stress management type stuff they would like to do. Um, and also, Horgus, do you radio the crew on the Black Gauntlet to prepare the two different ships?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And
So,
now we've got 10 minutes. Can I do counselor to drop everybody else's stress down?
well, counselor is once per person. But
Right.
yes, you can do one counselor roll on one person.
Who's got the highest stress?
Um, let's see. Martin, no, that's just damage. Igor has 4, and he's going to be one of the gunners. So make with that what you will. And then, yeah, what I'm seeing is like Kronk, and Summer has 2, Chef has 1, Evelyn has 0. So yeah, if you want to do somebody, who's currently with you, I would say Igor.
Okay.
So do your counselor roll. All right. Hold on. Why did you didn't
Oh,
want to use nap relief?
because yeah, I did. I just
Okay.
sorry,
So
I didn't
remove all your
realize.
stress and then reroll.
Yep.
Oh, very nice. And
Nice.
also, based on some plans I had for the session in the event that Tom came, I have some voice lines for you. So this is counselor.
You had best unfuck yourself or I will unscrew your head and shut down your neck!
That would be me.
So,
Actually, and then on
wrong.
top
You
of
are
that,
not
I'd
wrong.
be
You are
handing him
not
a
wrong.
flask of liquor because this is Igor.
You,
Like, drink
you
yourself.
will not laugh. You will not cry. I will teach you. You will learn by the number.
That makes me want to watch Full Metal Jacket again.
well, especially
I love
after
Lumberjack.
what I've
It's a
got
pretty
planned
good
for
movie.
this, yeah, it will. Anyway, so yeah, so you guys make it back to the Black Gauntlet, and by the time you quickly bring the 2 dropships, because remember Mike is flying yours and Kronk is flying the one that you stole from the Mercs. So you both bring the dropships into the hangars. You already see that like the Joker's Wild is being prepared. Mike bow-leggedly scrambles aboard the ramp to the Joker's Wild, and then all the respective crew piles in. Horgus team makes it to the bridge, and yeah, there was this one joke. I mean, Horgus can obviously say or do whatever he wants, but one thing I had in mind for this, and we'll be having a lot of these moments, is Horgus marches to the bridge saying, "Ho Chi Minh is a nasty bitch, got a curry and crabs in a 7-year itch." That that was what I originally had planned if like you guys were marching to battle.
I'm
So
sorry, Horgus, that I ever
pasted that picture.
I mean,
I love
I just to be clear, I'm not speaking for your character. That's just like I'm just giving you these like bonus like
Yep.
what could have been moments.
I
Just
don't
with
know
the,
if Orcus would do that.
okay,
That was a
well,
little extreme for Orcus.
I know, okay, well, like I said, I was just screwing
The
around.
first
So
one was good. That one, no, Orcus would be all business at this point,
fair enough. Okay,
and
so
be like, okay.
Uh,
Also, I would have Johnny
yep,
collect all the damn non-coms that we have with us and get them situated and secure with whatever oxygen mask or suits we can give them. So if we lose air pressure, they don't die
okay, so
in
you'll
this fight.
have all of the NPC crew wearing Mark 35 compression suits.
No. Remember, we just loaded on a whole bunch of civilians, didn't we? Didn't we bring a whole
No,
bunch of civilians with us? That's
no,
why
you
we
didn't bring
needed
any
that other
civilians at
ship.
all.
Am I
You
in
didn't
the
recover
wrong?
any civilians on the mission you were just on. So no. So moving on. But yeah,
Really? I thought
so
we recovered a bunch of the. We
you
found
didn't.
a room with a bunch of them. That's why we brought the other dropship to be able to bring them.
You no, you're getting your order of events mixed up. What happened last time is you were on the space station, right? You were on the research station. You found out that it was a trap that was set for you. You made your way back to the hangar to try to escape because you found out that there was a squad coming to arrest you.
Yeah.
You killed everybody in that squad. There were no civilians on the station. There were no civilians brought on the dropship.
Oh, okay. Then
So
what the
there,
hell am I doing? Sorry,
so
I've got
so
brain fart
that
time.
yeah. So that's the situation. So you guys make it to the bridge now. So for Space Combat Initiative, the way this works um, is that each captain of each ship rolls initiative. Um, and so to do that, I'm going to have some tokens dragged on the board, and you guys are going to get a kick out of this. I mean, I didn't change your actual token, Horgus. What I did is I just made a copy of it just for the sake of a laugh.
Now,
Just
there's
for
one line
giggles.
that he says that is funny, and that is, "Holy shit!"
Or yeah, the holy Jesus.
Yeah, yeah.
Which just so you know, I have that on my soundboard. And you may hear that. But so Horgus and Mac, and then Captain Nolan. I'm going to toggle combat state for these three, and then draw all. However, oh, never mind. Horgus, do you want to switch with Mac? Have your ship go before the Black Gauntlet, or your ship go before the Joker's Wild?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can swap initiative with Mac. Okay. And in terms of, and just as a recap to everybody, so then the reason why it's just these three characters is because the captains go, and then on each captain's turn, the crew goes in a specific order. So begin combat. So you obviously are not in comms with Captain Nolan, so you have no idea what the hell he's doing. Let me just double check the order. So space combat crew positions, and I'll share this handout with you guys so you can kind of read over it while I'm doing my thing. Space combat. So let's see. So positions. Okay, so captain, like sensor operator doesn't do anything. Pilot needs to do a roll. All right, so the ship moves 1, 2, 3. And then next would be gunners. So let's see. Gunners. What was that? Did somebody just say something?
I think it was a background.
Okay. Because I almost heard, I thought I heard what sounded like somebody saying "fuck him up." So,
I mean, that is a good sentiment to have.
yep. So, hold on. I need to double check the. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to calculate the range bands for something. Okay, so I'd say that's probably long range. Okay, so one weapon fires and it misses. Like you see basically the like I don't know what color they would actually be if they even have a color, but for the cool factor, like blue staticky particle beams fire out and miss.
Okay.
And then the only other weapon they will fire this turn is a missile, which would be long. Okay, 2 hits or 2 successes. And that brings us to the point that we discussed pre-game. Does everybody think it would be within reason to, as long as both of your ships are still in the same range band, that the Joker's Wild could be like, sort of a shield in the sense, not like shield it using itself as a shield, but using its countermeasures to hit incoming missiles?
Because I picture it to
Yeah.
be like a modern day, we're the aircraft carrier and they're a destroyer. And that's their job, is to screen the carrier from missiles.
Yep. So,
Yeah, that makes sense.
okay, so in that case, that brings us to the question: who is going to be using the countermeasures? Because keep in mind that when it's the Joker's Wild's turn, that's going to be your turn as you doing the countermeasure roll. So, which of the gunners would you have doing that? Because you've got
Amelia.
Summer. Okay, Amelia. So Amelia will. Well, you sure you want Amelia to do it? Because she's an NPC.
Yeah, because she's got a much better rating than Summer, and Ghost is our missile gunner.
Okay. So Zavotska will roll. Oh, hold on. She should not have that 1 point of stress. So I'm going to re-roll that. Range combat. No bueno. She can push if you want her to.
Push it. Worse.
Oh my god.
Okay, so now I gotta do a
This is
space
getting
combat
good.
panic roll for her. Okay, so she keeps together. Which, speaking of which, there are unique panic results in space combat. Just as some foreshadowing. Okay,
Alrighty.
so now hold on. Now the missile though, you do have armor for your ship. So I need one person on the ship on the Black Gauntlet to do an armor roll. And this is not armor piercing. It's just a straight up armor roll.
Alright, I'll roll it.
Okay.
Ah, did you see that?
Okay,
Six
so
just flipped at the last second.
so you reduce 1 point of damage, but you take 4. Your armor rating, your hull rating is 9, so you take 4 damage. So you should be down to 5 hull, and you can mark that up on the damage buttons.
One, two.
Okay. Well, no. You took 4 damage, not 5.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. So, but now what you need to do is so whenever an attack, like when you take less than half of your threshold, you roll minor component damage. So you guys see in minor component damage that wrench.
Mm-hmm.
I believe if you click that wrench, it rolls a crit. Okay, sensor malfunction. Okay, so yeah, the missile hit kind of scrambles your sensors, but they are still usable. Okay, so that, and then let me see if there's anything else that the enemy ship can do, should do. Let me just check space combat actions. No, so that's Captain Nolan's turn. Okay, so now Uh, it is Drill Sergeant Horgus and the captain or the crew of the Black Gauntlets. So, Horgus, I mean, you like in addition to giving actual narrative commands like, saying pilot, speed up, get us in there, kind of thing. You can also do like one command roll if you want.
Okay. I will do that to Miller, telling Miller to push it and get in as close as you can.
Okay, and you can do a command roll to boost him.
Woohoo!
All
I'm
right,
not pushing that.
all right, good call. So Miller will get a +1 to his piloting roll. And then as for everybody else specifically, are you content to just let everybody do what they want, like weapons
Yeah,
wise?
they're all PCs. They know what to do.
Yeah. I'll say that because the heavy railgun does more damage, Martin as a PC who was here can man that one, and then I'll just have Igor man the other one, the smaller one.
Sounds good.
Okay. So, so Miller as the pilot is going um to punch it. So he's going to go um one. So add modifier one. Oh, whoa!
Woo!
So
Yeah, Miller.
Nice.
So Miller says, "Hang on to your teeth, people," and like the ship just. So yeah, so increases approach velocity 1 step 2 if multiple successes. So unfortunately, he does not increase it by 4, but he increases by 2. So he goes 2, 4. So you were in a jump. I mean, you're not crashing directly into the ship, just so you know. That's just because space is
Right.
3D. So, but that brings us to I believe the sensor operator turn, unless I fucked it up and made that. Yeah, no, sensor goes first, but pilot. Okay, so for the sensor operator, which I believe we established is Evelyn,
Yep.
you can do a Comtech roll, but remember it's a -2. You could do a Comtech roll to basically, essentially, like I said, I home ruled it to where you can use the sensor operator to boost a gunner rather than allow the gunner to shoot in the first place. So you can pick either Buddy or Igor and roll a command roll, or not command, a Comtech roll to see if you can give either one of them extra successes, or a plus however many successes you get.
Yeah, sure. I will give it to Martin.
Okay.
Excuse me.
So, and then remember you can actually right click on the roll Comtech, like the Comtech button, and then do a -2.
Yep. Would my pass the limit apply here?
What does pass the limit do?
You get a +2 modification to any. Let me.
Well, pass the limit, that's for pushing rules based on strength.
Oh wait, intense focus. I mean,
Intense focus
block out.
actually would, and I'll tell you guys why. Because each round in space combat is one turn rather than one round.
Mhm.
So technically that actually does apply. So very good catch there. I don't know if you intended that or not, but yes.
No, I was checking my stuff and making sure things were turned
Okay,
off.
but intense focus actually would apply because each round in a space battle is 10 minutes.
Great. So Comtech.
So
I'm
that
gonna just
basically is
roll
a
it
flat roll. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So
Nice.
he gets Martin gets a +2 to shoot. Um, which speaking of which, actually, and I forgot to mention this before, but I'll mention it now that before you shoot, that at the end of Captain Nolan's turn, when the ship was moving, something very interesting you guys would notice is that the ship hasn't taken any damage, but an escape pod was launched. So, like, bear
Oh
that as you
joy.
will. A single occupant escape pod was fired from the enemy ship. So, just wanted to mention that in advance, lest I forget.
Hold your fire. It doesn't contain any life forms.
Well, I think you would want to fire on the giant warship bearing down on you rather than the tiny single occupant escape pod, but that's just me. Um,
Yep.
But that's something you
You
can go investigate after the battle.
you missed the.
No,
you
I got
missed
the
nerve
reference.
joke.
I got the reference,
Okay.
believe me. An escape pod was jettisoned during the fighting, but no lives were aboard. So, or no life forms were
That's the
aboard.
one.
Yep. So, I mean, and I only remember that because I was watching the Full Metal Jedi video where Vader's Hartman. Um, so anyway, but now that that little narrative point has been addressed, Martin, you can fire the whichever railgun you want, presumably the heavy railgun, because that does more damage. You can fire that, and you would get a +2 to your shot.
I want to fire the biggest rail gun.
Okay, so to do that, you right-click on the heavy railgun turret, and then you add a modifier of, or actually no, wait, you click it, and then you set the range modifier to short. Like you select fire, set it to yourself, range modifier short, and then base modifier 2.
Okay, hold on. That was a shitload of shit. Heavy railgun turret. Right click.
Well,
No.
well, like I said, I figured it's not right-click,
got
it's
it.
left-click.
Select fire. Yep. Range modifier.
Short, and then you get a bonus of 2.
Yeah, base modifier +2. I have 2 stress, so what? Stress modifier 2?
Stress, just leave that be. Like the stress modifier
Ship,
part.
not shift. Jesus.
Hold on, wait. Why didn't it roll any dice? Did you hit +2 instead of 2?
Yeah. No.
Well, no.
It's type 2.
Okay. Hold on. Try it again. Like, so you said +2?
No, I just put 2.
Okay, so,
And now I can't right click on it anymore.
well, all right, let me try it. Hold on. So that short base modifier 2. Let's see. Does that? Well, oh, well, I rolled it when I did. Unless we'll just use that and say that you did it.
We'll take that.
Okay. So, um, and based on what I established before, I think it is entirely within reason. Like in terms of where you get to defend as an out of turn action, they will do the same before applying armor. So they are going to use their laser countermeasures because Conestogas have those. See if that reduces any of the damage.
Against
Which,
a railgun?
yeah, railgun
Okay,
shots
I
can be
didn't.
soaked by lasers.
Okay.
The only
So-
offensive weapon that can't is particle beams.
Okay.
So they negate 1 damage, but the rest, the damage is a total of 7. So I need to do their armor, which is going to be armor piercing. They soak another 1 damage, but they take a total of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now they roll major component damage. Oh my. Oh, that was a good hit.
You're welcome. I mean, what?
Ooh boy, nice.
Yeah.
Good
Oh,
job,
that
buddy.
fucking sucks.
So,
Hey,
yeah.
Speaking.
What's up?
By the way, speaking of personnel, I'm missing Emily on our ships, or am I not?
Emily is on your ship on the Black Gauntlet.
Yeah, my
Okay.
token's not on the
She's
board, but
Well, I
I'm
didn't
in the
put all the tokens on the board, but she is on the ship.
Oh, okay.
So the enemy ship, in terms of cannot be controlled. Now the way, like from what I've seen, the gunner stations like on the map are not on the bridge. So the bridge, like the pilot, like so I would say uh the pilot station, the sensor operator, and obviously the captain's seat out of commission. Gunner stations and um, gunner stations and engineering are still operating as normal. So,
Do we? Is there any way that that anybody's looking at this damn ship and watches anyone slowly float outside?
yeah. Speaking of which,
Because,
They should be strapped down. I mean,
But the bridge is
it's the same thing for.
exposed to vacuum, so they're going to die either way.
Well, would they get a reflex? Like to me, they would still get. It's the same way we are. We're in suits. They're probably in suits. So if something like that happens, it's literally close the helmet. They should be able to get a save to close the helmet.
I mean, well, that's not
Um,
necessarily realistic, to be honest
It's
with you.
not why I asked.
Well,
Well,
what's the
it's a
question?
role play. It's a role play game. Because I would hate to have it for us. We're all fucking dead. We don't
That's
get a
not why
save or
I
nothing.
asked.
That would
Well,
be lame.
why did you ask?
I wanted to know whether, okay, we had one escape pod, pop out. Why did that happen? Why was it just one? Is the rest of the ship just manned by androids that have their programming overridden? Like, are there any and is there anybody floating outside of the?
Well, I'll give you some context clues to this. Is that at the ship? So the mercenary crew that you guys fought that was launched from this ship, those were all humans. Um, so there would at least be some human personnel on the ship. Also, the escape pod that was launched before you shot.
Yes,
So
I get
the
that.
so well, I'm just saying that it was as if somebody else had like whoever launched in the escape pod obviously had an agenda. Not necessarily fuck this shit amount, because there was the very strong possibility that the enemy ship could actually have stopped you.
Okay.
So,
Excuse me.
I mean, you ultimately won't really know for sure unless you go pick up that pod.
Oh,
So,
we will.
so okay. So in that case, yeah, if we're going to
That's
operate
very
by Tom's
ominous.
logic at your guys's,
I mean,
detriment.
I just think it's fair. I mean,
Yeah. Okay. Well then, all
it
right then.
should be maybe a difficult save, but at least give the a
Well,
chance.
Well, the thing is also it does say the ship can no longer be controlled and all personnel on the bridge suffer explosive decompression. So let me
Right.
just check.
So whatever
That's a
damage that would
self-resolving
be.
problem.
Yeah. So
And
let's.
that's what we call a self-resolving problem.
Yeah.
It's done.
So let's see.
Right, but
Other.
on the flip side is if they get a lucky crit like that, 3 players are dead, instantaneous. That there's no save or no nothing.
Okay.
To me,
So.
just I
Hold
What do
on.
don't
you
want
mean
that to
three
happen to me.
players? What do you mean 3 players? Those are NPCs.
No, on our big ship, this could happen to us with one shot against our ship, killing 3 players that don't have a save and don't have anything.
Well,
I don't want
what
to die
else?
like that. It's
Well,
very dumb.
I'm
here's
so
this.
confused right now.
Well, okay, guys, let me explain it for you. So the rules for explosive decompression, yeah, because you must make a stamina round every round without protection in a vacuum. So if they're protected and you're protected, you're fine. So uh, I would say the ship can no longer be controlled, but the crew is fine.
Okay.
Based on the description of the crit, I mean, like the crew may not necessarily be dead, but the ship, you can like everything on the bridge, which is everything except the gunner seats and the engineering room, is offline. So the
Yeah, that's
ship
fine
is
because they
still
would
sort of
literally
operational.
be they'll be literally trying to be sucked out the hole, but they're strapped in a chair and
Yeah,
they can't do anything from
yeah,
that. So that's yeah, okay, that's cool.
yeah, yeah. They're still alive, but the ship is still crippled. So I think that's a good resolution. Okay, so Martin fired, and now Igor is going to fire his shot. Um, and let's see. And all right, I gotta open up the ship. Igor is firing the medium turret. Range short. Okay, so he got one success, so that's 4 damage. Do you want him to push that?
Yeah, why not? It's early in the fight.
Okay, he got an
Did he
extra two
use
successes.
his cool? Did he use his item too?
Yeah, he. Oh yeah, good point. So yeah, well, it doesn't matter now because he would have had one stress for pushing anyway. So
Right.
um, like he removed
But
all of
I'm
his
saying
stress, but
if he needed to remove it,
no,
he had it. That's what I was,
no, he didn't
okay.
have any stress initially, but he does now. So
Okay.
Okay, so that's a total of 4 damage, or well, no, 6 damage total, and they can't use their countermeasures. So let me just double check that ruling of like damage on ships. So space combat, um, damage. Where's damage? Or no, that's major component damage. Component damage. So right, I gotta roll their armor first though. So where is their armor? Nope, armor does not save them. So now where was I?
Bye-bye.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm just trying to see if it's because if it's major component damage. Okay, so to half a total HP or more, so it's going to be major component damage. So that's like a 1 in 12 chance of one-shotting them. Okay, not quite. One of the crew members I would say is outright killed, and I'm going to roll say a D5 to see who it is. Like going in the order.
You're like a gunner.
It would be because I got a 5. It would be the engineer.
Okay.
So their engineer got hit with a fucking railgun slug and is dead, which is quite a gruesome way to die. Okay, so that was Igor's turn, and then as for the engineer, which would be Arthur, so engineer actions you can, so the things you can do, I think I actually pinned some, and I didn't make any changes to engineer roles. So engineer, you can do,
You can do emergency repairs on the
yes,
sensors, right?
yes, you could do emergency repairs on the sensor if you want, which is a heavy machinery role, I believe.
All right, I'm gonna do that then.
So hold on, let me. Well, before you roll, let me just double check, make sure it's a. Oh no, it's a Comtech roll. Shit.
Oh,
You can still try it if you want, but like, there's no
that would
harm
be two dots.
at best,
Dude,
assuming you didn't have any.
you put the wrong guy on there.
Well, no. Here's the thing though, is that the thing is that they're, like most of the reason I suggested that was because most of the actions, such as open airlock, reactor overload, power up engine, like that stuff is like heavy machinery based. There are some crits that are heavy machinery or Comtech or both.
You said open the airlocks?
No. Uh, so anyway, so I mean, would you want to still try to fix that? Because remember, Martin succeeded at a manipulation roll with 1 dice at one point, so anything's possible.
Yep. Oh, that's I hadn't considered that. Alcohol also decreases wits by a die too, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Per each drink you have, it reduces 1 stress and 1 wits.
Can you roll can you roll negative dice?
What happens
I don't think
is
so.
so if you don't have any like base dice, you start subtracting stress dice, and if you don't have any stress dice, then you can't do it at all. Then
Okay.
you're too drunk to function.
I haven't been keeping track of the alcohol, but it's safe to assume that like he's had at least one.
Yeah, probably. So, do you still want to try it?
But what else could he do that heavy machinery could do?
Um,
Because I don't see the list. I hate this rule book. It's so horrible.
so, well, if you look in chapter
Oh,
55,
here's
Space Combat,
engineer 4. I found
yeah,
it.
like the problem is that the one crit you guys have is repaired by Comtech, not heavy machinery. Um, so in this case, I hate to say it, but I don't think there's that much he can do. Because you guys haven't taken, like, basically, the engineer in Space Combat is mostly just the medic, but you guys haven't really taken any major damage. Like, you got the 1
Because you
crit, and
don't
that's
have
about
any
it.
wits right now? You don't have any wit?
He's
I
a
What do you have wits
vegetable.
1? Well, shit, just roll the 1 die. If you get 1 success, you could start getting Comtech.
Oh, I accidentally rolled 2, but I guess it doesn't matter much anyway.
Every time I think of Arthur, I think of this time I was playing this. I think it was Dead Island Riptide, and like you can drink so much booze that like your character just can't stand. Like a friend of
So
mine,
I
like
need
a friend and I were drinking beer for like 10 minutes, and like our characters keep stumbling over and falling.
so
So
we all owe Igor a case of vodka because with killing the engineer, he cannot reactor overload if we disable the ship. The
yeah, they can't.
engineer's dead.
Yeah, he can't do a self destruct.
Yes, so that's a good thing.
So all right. So
Good job, man.
that I believe would be the Black Gauntlet crew. So now we go to Mac's crew, and basically through through Mac Horgus, you can pretty much just give orders again, like what you want them to do. Just keep pegging away at the enemy ship to just kill it off, or whatever you want to do.
Mac would probably support Ghost with the missiles because that's,
Well,
and then
yeah,
Mike will
well,
just pile it in.
yeah. So he will give a command roll to help Tobias. He gets 2 successes, so that's a +2 to Tobias's roll. All right, so you said you want Mike to move in.
Yeah.
All right. Well, actually, hold on. So Summer would have because I believe the sensor operator goes first. So Summer. So like I said, I'm not going to let
No,
one person.
Glenn's sensor.
Oh, Glenn's. Oh,
Summer's on
Glenn's.
railgun.
Oh, okay. So then in that case, never mind. So then Glenn will roll Comtech to boost Summer, or he will try to. Yeah, he got 1 success. So Summer gets a +1. Um, so that's those 2. Mike is going to do his piloting roll, and in class, and Mike's like, "Hang on!" as he goes like rocketing in. So he gets 2 successes. The ship like goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Uh, like basically, whoever I think it's if Evelyn's monitoring the sensors, you see this rapid moving blip go rocketing from behind you, like right basically parallel to the Black Gauntlet. It's almost moving at faster than light
Jesus.
speed. He's going like Mach however much.
Yeah.
And if anybody could see the front windshield of with Mike, Mike's like waving at you as he's piloting.
Okay, so now it is the gunner phase. So Tobias, would you like to go first? Ghost.
Ghost, do you have?
Sorry about that. I'm here.
All right, roll. So if you're going to be the missile gunner, I want you to roll the short lance ASAT missile, and you get a bonus of 2. And remember to set the range to short.
How do I access that?
Okay.
Give me a second.
Open the Joker's Wild ship
Right here. I
on the
found
map.
it. I found it.
All right.
And you said shit the range to short?
Set the range to short, and you get a bonus of 2.
Okay.
And just make sure you're listed as the gunner, because then that way it'll use your dice pool.
Okay. How do I list myself as a gunner?
You click the short lance ASAT missile. There's select firer. You set that to you.
It says I'm the gunner already. Okay, cool.
But yeah, select firer of the missiles. Set that to chef. Range short. Base modifier 2.
Range modifier. Oh, okay, that's what you got. Okay. Okay, cool. Check it quickly. Base modifier 2.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Okay, so that is, do you want to push that?
I get Jesus. Sure. I'll push it 1 time.
Okay.
If we can drop this ship in 1 round, that would be nice.
Okay, so before you roll panic, don't roll it from your sheet. Roll so if you see the crew list on the Mantis, click
Give
the
me a
heart
second.
next to your name.
Click the
While he's-
what?
Okay. When you're in the Joker's Wild and you see crew, there's a heart to the right of your name, the panic button, click that. That's how you roll for panic in
Okay, give
space
me a moment.
combat. So meanwhile, while he's doing that, I'm gonna okay. Interesting. So meanwhile, can you mute yourself, Ghost? Because I hear TV in the background.
Give me a second. Hold on. I'm doing like multiple things at once, so you have to give me a moment.
All right. So he rolled that. So meanwhile, that's a total of 3, 4, 5, 6 damage potentially. So let's just roll their armor and see if they soak. Okay, wow, they soak 3 of it, but the other 3 does 1, 2, 3, and then I need to roll minor component damage for these guys. Oh, well, look at that. So, okay, and that brings us, and then that brings us to summer. So you get to fire the railguns, like the light railguns on Simmons' ship, and you will get a +1 to your roll from Glenn's earlier. Well, I think it was Glenn or Mac. I think it was Glenn. You still there,
Glenn.
Summer?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
am I
So,
muted? Hello? Yeah, I'm here.
well, I just want to make sure you were there. Okay, so anyway, so roll the light railgun turret, and then select yourself, like from select fire, drop down to yourself. The range modifier is short, and then you get a bonus, like a base modifier of 1.
There we go. Range modifier short, correct?
Yeah, short, and then you get a 1, like a bonus of 1.
And
Do you want to push and see how fast you kill this thing?
sure.
Okay. Okay, so that's 4 damage. Roll your panic.
Heart?
Yeah, so yeah, you click the heart on the ship sheet.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh no.
You're in the zone. You're too busy trying to kill this
Damn.
enemy ship. So your
Yeah.
stress increases by 1. So hold on, make sure. Did it auto calculate it? Yes, it did. So you don't need to actually change it. Okay, so for that ship, I need to roll armor piercing. Okay, I didn't get any armor, so I need to. So that would actually bring it over threshold. But I need to make sure does it automatically give it a crit, or is it just like disabled altogether? Let's see, hull damage. If
Total
a
loss of ship and crew. Oh, Jesus.
well, no, that's only if one single hit does the whole thing. I'm just trying to see.
I'm looking under hull damage.
Yeah, but the thing is that so if the ship has suffered damage equal to or in excess of its hull rating, it is disabled.
Oh, okay.
But I want to see if
there.
you do a crit to it. And so far, I'm not seeing that. But either way, the ship is the enemy ship is toast because you like you shoot it, and I would say the railgun maybe hits the like the area of the missiles, like the missile battery explodes. You see explosions rippling throughout the ship. Uh, like viewports and stuff are exploding. The ship starts kind of you know steering down to the side as it's like crashing and exploding. So essentially like the imagery of like sinking kind of. Um, so
Mhm.
the enemy ship, yeah, is fucking destroyed. So dead. And within the
Well,
span of one round,
disabled or destroyed?
um, it would be technically
I thought it was disabled.
well, if I mean,
So-
if it's disabled, that still means that the ship is exposed to vacuum, like all stuff is, um, like it's still inoperable. Like it's effectively destroyed, but you can still salvage it.
Okay, that's what.
Like you can scrap,
But
But
like you can scrap.
we need to board it and clear it though, still, because if they have spacesuits on, then they could be alive in there.
Well,
yeah, after
yeah.
we pick up, after we pick up the.
Oh yeah. We have. That's what the medic dropship is for.
Yeah, you want the medic to go do that?
We don't know what it is. It's not us. We'll probably need her to come in and grab a team, and we'll go collect them with a team.
Okay. Do you want her to board the Black Gauntlet or try to pull up alongside the Joker's Wild?
Let's have her go to the Joker's Wild, and then Ghost and Summer can jump on that and collect that, and the two of them can handle that while the Gauntlet attaches to the disabled ship, so we can clear
Okay.
that.
Well, with
That
our
way, the
kind of
PCs are involved over there.
with our kind of luck, there's a nuke on board just to, you know, act as bait and blow one of our ships up. That
Uh,
that is our kind of luck.
Mhm.
Most of your guys' bad luck is self-inflicted, just so you know. But anyway, so uh,
The
anyway,
only
so
good thing is we killed their engineers, so they can't blow it up easily.
yeah, they cannot do a reactor overload, but the ship is currently disabled. So let me just double check how the thing works. So yeah, if a ship is disabled, um, it can still be repaired theoretically, but the problem is that it takes time skill tools and often spare parts. So basically, um, I doubt it's because you don't have any spare parts. Um, you're not in any kind of like dry dock. Would take a lot of time. Like you could salvage the ship, but well, actually, I actually
Can we
might.
tow it?
What
Can we tow it?
do
Because
you
we
have it?
do have
Do
the
you have,
tow kit.
you
Yeah.
you actually could. You very well could.
So
Y-
let's
you
clear it
know,
and tow it back to Earth, and then we can decide if we want to keep it, salvage it, sell it, as a
Yeah.
party. See what we want to do.
So what were you saying, Marty?
I was watching Pirates of the Caribbean last night, and you know what I'm thinking right now?
What?
Commodore Barbosa, the beginning of our own
Yeah.
fleet. Savvy?
Yeah, so Pirates of the Caribbean's, it's fucking Mercenaries of the Middle Heavens.
I love the title.
Here we go.
Yeah,
And just like that, we have
and then instead of Grievous's your lightsaber will make a fine addition to my collection, your ships will make a fine addition to my fleet, quoth the Horgust.
your ship will make a fine addition to my fleet.
Yep. So, okay, so you guys, well, Horgus, I'll ask you, which do you want to have? Like, do you guys want to go pick up the pod and do that scene first, or do you want to board the ship and clear it out?
Yeah. So I'd like to do two things. So the ship can go collect the pod. But now that we're out of combat, can we all come up to the bridge and can Evelyn cool us all down and get our stun back down now that we're out of combat?
Yes. Like you are out of
Okay.
space combat, so you guys have all the time you need. Well,
Okay.
actually, though, technically, because if the crew is still alive and if they are in spacesuits, they are on limited oxygen theoretically. So it's not like you could like wait for hours and then if they did sort of air supply rolls and they fucked up, then they would all die. Unless that's what you want to have happen.
Them dying without
Mm,
us having to do anything. Sounds good to me.
I'm torn.
It's a ship.
Um,
They wanted to kill us.
yeah, but that captain might know stuff.
Maybe the captain is the one that jumped out.
I don't know. But we could chill and get ready to attach, let the dropship go collect the pod, and then we'll make the call what we want to do if we want to just wait them out till they all die or attach and go clear out the ship. Let's see what the pod is all about. Does that sound good for everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and then the people who are on the gauntlet can at least chill and relax and get their
Oops,
stun
wrong thing.
cleared.
Stun? What?
He's thinking of strain.
Stress?
What did I say?
Stress.
Stun.
Yeah, your stress needs to go down.
Yeah. So, okay, so yeah, so if Evelyn is going to now, the question for Horgus, are you going to wait for, because if you want like Summer and everybody on the Joker's Wild to board the ship, that will take at least 10 minutes to like fly all the way back and dock with you and get up to the bridge. So if you want to do like banter with Evelyn while you all are still at, like for the crew that's on the bridge, you can do that right now, but it would take another 10 minutes for everybody else to join you.
Everybody on the gauntlet she can do while Ghost and Summer are collecting the.
Yeah. Though Ghost and
That way,
Summer
at
are
least half the party is clear.
yeah. Okay. Um, so Evelyn, you can do that. Like we'll start with a 10-minute increment, and you use banter. So everybody on the bridge of the Black Gauntlet will, and I'll say Arthur as well, can recover 1 point of stress.
Oh, she rolled like shit.
Who rolled?
Evelyn.
Evelyn doesn't need a roll.
Doesn't she roll for that?
No,
I
you
don't
don't
need
have
to
to roll
roll for
for it.
banter.
Basically, banter is like just normal stress recovery when you're sitting in a safe spot and just chilling, except when Evelyn, like
Okay,
if you have
it's
somebody with
just
banter, it
one.
recovers
Okay.
recovers 2 instead of 1. Like if you have
It's like
somebody with
the
banter.
scene from Aliens where they're on the drop ship before they go down to
Pretty
Florida and
much,
they're just
exactly.
talking and shooting the shit.
Does somebody still on the gauntlet have a high that I could do? Because I don't need her to cool me down. I'm neppelined up, so I'm good. The counselor who could I counsel while she were relaxing?
You could. Good question. So Black Gauntlet, let me see. So I don't think there's anybody you could counsel right now that's on the Black Gauntlet, because if you have, um, Evelyn just did banter. Miller doesn't have any stress. Igor, let me just double check Igor. He had 1 point of stress, but he would recover that from banter. And then Martin is fine. So counselor
Okay.
would not be
I don't
applicable in
need
this
to.
case. Like the only
Alrighty.
person who could use counseling would be Summer, but number 1, she's not even in the fucking call, and number 2 is that she's not on the ship. She's
Okay.
going on the search and rescue mission. Um, so because neither she nor Ghost are here, I'm gonna have to hold off and wait on them to do their recovery operations. So do you guys want to go investigate the ship now, or?
No. We're gonna wait and see what kind of information we get from the pod
Yeah, well,
information, and then decide if we're
it's
going
just
to
that,
sit here and wait.
well, the thing is that the 2 PCs who are going to do that are not here right now. Well, one of them is here, speaking of the devil, so. I mean, muted or deafened,
One of
albeit, but.
the specialty I forgot I picked up at the end of last session was heavy weapons. Gives me a +2 bonus when I'm firing heavy weapons and +2 heavy machinery to fix them.
Oh, where did Ghost go?
He said he has to, put his fucking nephew to sleep because he's babysitting, but he's been gone for like 10 minutes, so.
Depending on how old, that's typical.
Yeah, still.
Especially if it's nap time, they don't like to nap.
Yeah. Okay, well, Summer, are you back yet? Good to go?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
because I needed at least you or Ghost to be here, and Ghost is playing Daddy Daycare, so. Um, so.
I need to reload the map because my
Okay.
Wi-Fi died while I was gone.
Oh, okay. So, anyways, I don't know how much you missed, and I got a text from Ghost. He says, "Give me a minute." Um, so I guess we can just wait another minute. Why not? Unless he says, "Oh, well, never mind. It's 10 minutes," or something like that.
Do we want to do a bathroom break?
Yeah, if you guys want to take like a quick intermission and do what you need to do, get a drink, use the head, whatever. I mean, go for it. Yeah, you guys can log back in whenever you need to.
Failure.
So. Uh, I'm gonna have to figure out what the hell's going on with that because it's getting on my nerves. But yeah, Foundry is up. While you guys are connecting, so yeah, just as a recap of the pre-intermission, yeah, we or mainly for Ghost, yeah, space battle ended, and you and Summer have been dispatched to go pick up the escape pod that was launched. So, you there, Ghost? Because you're muted. And also, his mic is lighting up green for some reason.
Yes, I know I'm muted.
Okay. So anyway, so yeah, you guys. So Paz, the dropship pilot, brings you over to the the escape pod. It's one of those like a single occupant pod, kind of like the one that Vickers punched out in Prometheus. And you know, the pod is kind of um, you know, I would say it's probably clear enough for you to see the person inside. But are you going to just look at the person, or are you going to open it and see who, like, get that person's story?
Oh. What do they look like?
Female scientist in one of the compression suits from Prometheus, the Presidium uh, exploration suits. Uh, Not armed, but does have like a satchel with unknown contents.
Oh. Is she awake?
Um, she is in it. So from what I can tell, the pods, um, according to the ABCs of EEVs section, escape pods, where is it? A Class A ejection pod. It puts the occupant in a state of semi-stasis. So, no, she's not awake.
Okay.
Like, it's just a
So
precautionary message
let's
as part
open
of
the
the pod's
pod.
design. Okay.
Wait,
All right.
let's open the pod and take the satchel off her before
Okay.
grabbing her,
So,
like picking her up and out of it.
all right. So the question, and also, does anybody have, any in terms of, uh, you know, Kronk and or Summer, do either of you have any guns out?
Well, I have a gun out, yeah. I have a gun out, yes.
No,
Okay.
she wouldn't have a gun out.
Okay, so you're the one. I'm assuming then you're the one going to get the satchel. Summer.
Who,
Summer.
sorry?
I said, I'm assuming then you're the one who's going to grab
Yeah.
the satchel. Okay. So you grab the satchel like a few seconds before she comes to, and then rises out of the pod. And as for who you see, there's a little bit of steam comes out of the pod and out. Oh god damn it! Fucking Windows key. Yeah. Emery Carr with the serial number filed off. Um, so out of the pod steps a scientist whose appearance matches what you see. Looking around, sees Ohio Jones aiming. Well, do you have your pulse rifle or your Magnum out?
I have my pulse rifle, also I'm not aiming it, I just have it, like,
Oh, okay. Well, you have it out.
and I just
Okay. So,
Yes, I just have it out, I'm not aiming
okay.
it.
All right. So then she doesn't reach for the sky, but she looks around and then somewhat in like a very passive but cautious tone, asks, where exactly am I and who are you? Not necessarily like demandingly, but just sort of like a kind of what's going on sort of tone.
Summer, you're muted.
Okay,
Yes,
yeah,
I know.
you can
Sorry, I was
give him the
talking
rest
to one
of
of my
it.
siblings.
Never mind. Alright, okay. I just explain what happened, because I'm not too self-aware of what happened. I just know that we just, or basically I'll just say that I'm recovering this pod, that me and her are recovering the pod, and that we didn't know that you were in it. Hey, yeah, you should be asleep. Oh, grabbing my headphones.
Um, Okay, so she um the scientist note like very quickly realizes that um Summer took her satchel and you know basically just says excuse me ma'am, please do be careful with its contents.
What?
The
What are its
contents of the ship.
contents?
That's what I was
Um,
about to say.
she explains that it has you know a PDAT as well as a not like one of the hard data drives from the core rulebook. Like basically, she explains it has a data drive with very crucial information on it, and she says that she's trying to make sure it reaches the right person or the right people rather.
Sorry. Uh, okay. Um, this is definitely something to give to either Hogest or Evelyn to take care of.
Okay, and then
But
what's up?
no, I thought they weren't on a ship. That's all.
Well, no, here's so what's going on is that uh Chef and Summer were brought aboard the drop ship to go pick up the pod, and so they're currently on the drop ship in the bay with whoever the hell this is, and from what I can tell, debating whether or not to give it to Drill Sergeant Horgust or to Evelyn.
Okay. Okay.
So the question I have for Summer or Tobias, because you are basically as quiet as the grave, do you say or do or ask anything else?
Well, I'm gonna ask
Um,
real quick. Uh, what were you doing on this pod?
Um,
Like, where were you before you came out of here?
she mentions that she was like she sort of talked her way into joining the a mission to either like a mission that was dispatched either to bring you bring the because she doesn't necessarily like know exactly who you are. She says she was part of a mission sent to um, apprehend or execute the Steel Talons, although she did not join it for that purpose. She basically joined it because it was her way out. And then she asks, "Are you the Steel
W-
Talons?"
Uh, well, before I answer that question, a way out of what?
And she just matter of factly says company servitude.
Hmm, I see. And I would suppose, yes, we are the Steel Talons.
And she says, that is very very good to hear because you're the ones I've been looking for.
What do you want with us? I kind of asked curiously. I
She
basically
explains
put my
what.
weapon away. I put my weapon away to seem, friendly.
Yeah. So the woman explains that she was like because you guys have made yourself like and she matter of factly says because you've made yourselves an enemy of the Wayland Utani Corporation. um that that to me would imply that and especially if you were sent here to investigate the company's trap, that means that you're most likely investigating the series of colonist abductions. And she explains that um, she wishes to like if she says that if you are looking into the colonist abductions, and from what I've heard the United America's FBI is doing the same thing, then you two may have overlapping goals. You may be in allegiance with the FBI, and therefore you could help me get the information on my data drive to the FBI. And she explains that uh, that basically it's an absolute treasure trove of intel on everything that's been happening, and she says she wants to make sure that gets to the right people.
My character looks here and says, "Well, you're just the big MacGuffin, aren't you?"
I'm
All right.
sorry.
Sorry, that's an inside thing. Don't worry about me. All right. Let's get you the fuck out of here then. What's your name, by the way?
She introduces herself saying, I'm Dr. Rena Hemlock, former employee of the Weyland-Yutani Corporation, although from what I've overheard from Captain Nolan, I'm most not likely not the Dr. Hemlock you've been looking for. And says, I'm sure you have plenty of questions which I'd be glad to answer. Um, though I would much rather get to a secure location in case the company, how you would say, comes a knocking.
Yeah, I would also prefer that we have those questions answered on the ship so everybody's present. I'll introduce myself once we're there. Just come with us.
And she says, sounds good to me. And um, do you tell? Well, the question is, um, do you tell Horgus, what you've found and or that you're going back to the ship, or ask for directions? Like, what's your next step? Paz also kind of
Well,
looks
I
at you
mean,
expectantly for.
I'll tell him. I'll tell Horgus exactly what just happened. I say, "Hey, boss, we got someone here who might be a pretty big help to this whole fiasco that we just dealt with. How do you want me to proceed?"
Let's bring them on. Bring them on board the gauntlet.
All right. Do you want me to do anything else after that, or do you want us to just stay here?
No, I don't think we have the time to wait for them to die.
Gotcha. All right.
I think we're
I
gonna
then
have
say,
to go
all right, I'll
clear
be
that
there.
ship.
Yeah,
Hmm.
which speaking of, I need to do another roll.
Uh, I'll be up there in 2 minutes. I say as I kind of like stop talking over the radio, and then I look over to Rena and I say, all right, just follow me. Summer, I guess we're going back to the ship.
Okay, so you, and assuming you relay that to Paz, who's currently piloting, Paz will bring the dropship around and take you to the Black Gauntlet. So, yeah, that's a
Gotcha.
fairly,
Also, before we continue further, give me a moment.
well, I mean, the scene will keep continuing
Heads up.
uh, without needing
Yeah, no,
anything.
I'm saying like like if you need me, like I'm letting you know that I'm gonna go put my nephew down because he just fell asleep.
Again. Okay. Um,
Mhm.
so, anyway, so yeah, so the dropship is flying, and I would say, given the amount of time that passed in the space battle, as well as how long the pod has been drifting, I would say it would probably be somewhere within the window of 20 minutes for the dropship to like basically have gone out, picked up the pod, and then come back. So, with that knowledge, Horgus, are you going to wait for them to get aboard the ship and then proceed, or are you going to just try to dock straight with the enemy ship?
Can't we do both at the same time?
Yeah, I mean,
Can
you
we dock
can.
and then? Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
you
do
can.
that. We'll dock and then let them get on board, and then um, does Summer or Ghost? They both have high stress. Well, Summer does, but does
Yeah.
Summer have Napoleon?
Yeah. Do you have nap relief, Summer?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, take a Napoleon so you're clear
Yeah. So, yep.
before we go
Alright.
into this. Um, 1 second. Sorry, I had to give directions to the kid.
Okay. It's all good.
Um, so yeah, we'll dock, and then everybody get their spacesuits on, and let's get ready to clear this ship. Um, we'll, so Cody, I'm planning to take the NPCs, but they're going to be in a squad behind us. So as we capture people, if we capture, well, let me say that differently. If we capture anybody, then the NPCs will be in charge of guarding them. So they're added a PCs, so we can keep moving forward and not be bogged down by uh, people that we find that want to surrender.
Okay.
Does that go with you? Does that make
Uh,
it easy?
so let me just so understand it correct. So you want to have the NPCs like tailing you so nobody doubles back and gets away?
No, no, no. I'm fine. I'm guessing there are not. That ship might have other people besides black combat troops. So some of those might want to surrender versus dying. So
Yeah.
if we find anybody like that, I don't want to be bogged down with
I
dealing with
mean, if you
them
want
as
a meta hint, you
PCs.
could always ask Rena because she was just on that ship and would know.
Yeah, I could. What's how many does she know how many's on the ship?
Uh, if you ask her, like, I mean, like through Tobias, because she doesn't have comms with you, like the answer you would get is that the complement of the ship, which she gives the name as the Avalanos, which I will put in the Discord chat. Uh, Avalanos is the name of the ship. The Avalanos is captained by Roger Nolan, has a first mate android named Gray, and in addition to the like the dropship crew that went to go get you, there was the engineer, uh, there was a total of 6 weapons crew, and then a total of 4 additional personnel on the bridge with the addition of the captain of the guard troops that came. So that's a total, in addition of all the people you slayed last session, there's 1, 2, 3, so 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 people on board. Like a maximum of 14 people. She does not know that the engineer was killed. Technically, you guys don't know that either. That's just meta knowledge. But
Right.
um,
Um, so we got the guard captain, and how many guards did he have? 4 other
in
on the
terms of
bridge.
how many like Black Ops guys there were a total of, not counting the ones you killed, a total of 10.
And 6 of them are the weapons officers, right? The
So yeah,
weapons
there were
gunners.
there were three like
Okay.
there were 3 people at each weapon station. So I will. What I'll do is I'll move us over to the Conestoga map. Um, here whenever you guys load. Um, all right. So this map. So basically, uh, Deck B would be where the like an engineering would be, like one of these bays would be where the chief engineer would be. Deck A is where the like all the command stuff for like gunner stations and the bridge and stuff would be.
Okay. Well, I hope the guard captain was in the bridge when it blew out, because he'd be in space though, because he would have been tied down.
Yeah, true. So
um, and we would we're not coming into the hangar, right? We would be attaching.
yeah, if you're docking with your like the ship like umbilical, like the boarding bridge, you can dock at any airlock you want.
Let's dock by the main bridge dock.
Yeah.
It's off of this elevator, isn't it?
Well, either the north or south one, like the starboard one or the port side one, like whichever one doesn't matter because it's a symmetrical, a symmetrically laid out deck.
Uh, but their floor plan's the same as ours, isn't it?
Well, your ship
Or
has
close?
somewhat of a different layout. It's close, but this one is a larger ship and therefore is a different layout.
Okay.
I need to actually get the proper like Bougainville maps uploaded, but at the time I only had the Conestoga maps, so
Oh, okay. Um. So which port is closest to the bridge? That's where I would like to put the
literally
box.
either one, the port side or starboard side. Like if you
Port.
go up
We'll
to
go
this,
port then.
yeah, this one or this one is the exact same distance.
All right. We'll go to port.
Okay, so um, all right, so you guys, so who all are you bringing on the ship?
Uh. We're gonna bring the PCs as our assault team, and
Okay,
then uh backed up with but we'll um bring Johnny with us
okay,
instead
instead
of
of Heather,
Heather.
yeah, because Heather is still damaged.
Yep. So we'll bring Johnny with us.
All right, I'll just have them off to the side. I got
And
rid of the walls and stuff on these maps because it was just too much of a pain in the ass.
yeah, now does Johnny have real equipment? Because we haven't used him in forever.
He does not have a spacesuit, but I can swap out his M3 personnel armor for a one of the eco suits if you want.
Do we have an extra?
You have an extra three.
Yeah,
Okay.
give him one then.
All right. Delete one of the ones from the Black Gauntlet, and I will add it to Johnny's sheet. Because I believe you have like three in storage.
Yep, I'm looking for it.
Yeah, it's under modules and upgrades.
Alrighty.
That's where your inventory is. So you got three Eco 2 suits. So delete one of those, and I'll add an Eco 2 to
Okay,
Johnny.
delete it.
All right, cool. So Johnny has that. He is kind of over encumbered though. So I mean, now the good news. Hold on, let's see. So what I'll do is I'll move his shovel. He had a shovel in his thing. I'm just trying to lighten his load because he was not built as he only has strength 3. So let me just get rid of some of his shit that he's not using. Try to lighten his load. Yeah, he doesn't need his.
Do they need the baton rounds?
No, and that's what I was literally just about to add that to his thing. All right, so now he's got. All right, so he's good to go.
Okay.
He's exactly at threshold. So, all right, so Johnny's there. And then let's see. So we got Drill Sergeant Horgus, Evelyn, Martin, Arthur, and then we need Summer and Chef. And then we're good to go. Okay, so all the PCs as well as Johnny are there. Are you bringing anybody else?
Well, there'll be the Amelia, um, Mike, and is that the only NPCs we have left?
Well, you have Amelia, Mike, and Vinny, because Vinny's still fine.
Okay.
Um, so,
Which PCs aren't here?
um,
Miller, Miller's
Miller and
Miller
Igor.
could be back. Miller could be back with the NPCs because he can't attack anything anyway. So,
Yeah. So, do you want them like
but if
like moving starboard side?
no, they'll be in the room behind us.
Okay, so they'll be holding down the fort.
Correct.
Okay, so I'm not
So
gonna move all
as
their
we
tokens
find
there, but
people,
yeah.
they're just gonna hold anybody that
Okay, so
surrendered.
I'll just have
Get
Miller
anybody.
there.
And we have no other PCs that aren't here, are they?
Well, you have
Who's not?
Igor. I'll have Igor there, and then just assume the other
Yeah.
NPCs are with those two.
Yep. That way they're close enough if we're still doing this next week or next session.
Well, I mean, we got quite a bit of time left, so.
Yeah. Alrighty. And then we'll move forward.
Okay.
I can't even remember who the hell our scout is.
That would actually be Summer.
Yes. Is it Summer and Tobias usually go out in front?
Well, so of the PCs up until now, I also got to get rid of Chef's status effect. So Tobias has only a total observation of 5. His mobility 7, which is pretty good. But observation-wise, you usually put Heather on point because she had the best. But bear in mind that you may have new additions who could like be observation, or you could um, you know like you could just appoint because Igor. Here's the thing with Igor. Yes, he's a sniper, but he does have of the PCs the highest observation. He's got a total of 8. And he's also got stealthy, which gives him a +2 to mobility when moving undetected.
All right. All right. Well, so we'll send Igor in with Summer.
And Igor
That way
also
there's a
does
team.
have some close range weapons because he does have his suppressed pistol. He picked up a shotgun on the station, and he also has he has a storm rifle in his footlocker, but so he does have close range weapons. So Igor will be on point with Summer, I take it.
Yep.
Okay. And then Miller will stay behind with the NPCs.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So, and I assume you're heading straight for the bridge while checking weapons command.
Correct. So we'll clear each room up the hallway.
Okay.
So we'll check each office, each weapon command, um, and then Arthur, are you good covering our rear?
Yeah, I could do that. Although
Okay.
I'm better at close combat
Yeah.
than anything else, really. So
Yeah. Because what was it you said again? You practice alcohol and shovel foo.
yeah, yeah.
The way of the drunken shovel.
Or Tobias, do you want to cover our rear then? I don't know if he's back. So let's have Tobias cover our rear.
Okay. All right. He can do that.
So I would want to position him here, and he's guarding this way.
Okay. So I'll have him look. I'll just move his token there to indicate that he's there, and he dropped another call.
Yep.
Okay. So Kronk is
Once
looking
we
down
clear here, but
Okay.
for now we'll just put him there.
All right. There he is. He's back. And muted. So, and also, yeah, Ghost, if you're talking or whatever, I can't hear you. So, oh, I just heard your mic.
I'm not talking.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, you guys, yeah. What I'll do is I'm gonna honestly shortcut it partially because I played this advanced, but yeah, at least when you get to weapons command and check, yeah, it's also worth mentioning that the ship, because it was disabled, there is 0G. Like you guys are in 0G, but the good news is not only do your suits have magnetic clamps, but you have thrusters on, so you can move unimpeded. But the only reason I'm mentioning that is because when you open the door, yeah, all these bodies are floating around dead in the vacuum of space.
God. Okay.
Like the ship lost
Clean
lost
up.
life support and it lost gravity, so these corpses are just floating around in the void.
Okay.
And Martin goes, "That was a good shot."
Yeah, this is ultimately your kill count, Martin. Just so you know. So.
Good job, buddy. Jesus.
That's right.
So, and when you the somewhat whimsical thing is so now when you and then the same deal when you open the bridge is when you open the bridge, all these people are dead except one. There's
Captain.
one. No, the captain's dead.
Oh, okay.
What's this guy down here is not only just sort of floating adrift, but he doesn't have a suit. So what does that tell you?
Oh,
And
he's the
he's alive,
android.
so he's an android.
Yes, bingo. And what's more interesting is that he's a bishop model android.
Uh-oh.
Oh, fun.
shocked. Was it an older model?
Yeah. So he's just kind of floating around like he's in like open water and like kind of like waving around and stuff. And like when he sees you guys, uh, you know, like when he sees like all these like these mercs like float into the room with automatic weapons, he just raises his hands. So whether you kill him, leave him adrift, or capture him is up to you. But he is not going to resist.
We capture him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Listening.
So and then he gives like as he's being like carried away. I don't know if you like handcuff him or anything, but um yeah, like I said, he's because he's a bishop model android and he's not programmed for violence against humans. He doesn't like try to resist you. But he does look over to the captain, and also this guy was the commander of the troops on board, like the guy above Nolan's token.
Can we?
Yep.
I'd like to make sure that they're all searched.
Okay.
And can we? So are all the computers offline?
Yes. The ship
Okay.
lost power.
Right.
Could I carry the android like a sack of potatoes?
What?
I think he can still walk. He
Yeah,
can
he can
float
still
and
walk.
think.
It's just he doesn't have a zero G suit, so he's just floating around.
You just
Oh,
grab
that's
him
fair.
and drag him along with you. He just
He's
floats there.
swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I will
Like,
say
just, like,
technically,
tie a tablet to him and just
I
use him like
over
a balloon.
yeah. No, I said well technically I did overlook a somewhat of a critical component of alien mythos, but because I've already mentioned it this far, I'm not going to retcon myself. Which because just so you guys know, in alien canon, androids actually like they can breathe in airless environments, but vacuum will still make them explode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say this guy was just in like he managed to get into a suit just in time, so therefore he doesn't explode. But yeah, he doesn't have the kind of suit that would let him um like walk around and fly around and stuff. He just has one of the suits that like Ripley wore in Alien.
Okay.
So like the more primitive
Okay.
kind of suits. So he's still alive, but he's still pretty much powerless.
Just like the ship.
Yep. Like as he's being as he's being like dragged what?
I know, dad joke, but
Well, I was well no he looks looks around at all the damage that was done being Carterway's like shame about what happened to the Abelonis. She was a lovely ship.
It's still a good ship.
Yeah. Well, it'd take probably a little bit to get it back in order, but I mean, hey, if we want to make a fleet, this would be a good start, I'm sure.
No, I would rather
I don't
salvage
know if
it.
that conversation was in character. Mhm.
But so Cody, I want to make sure to bring the guard captain and the captain of the ship back to our ship and put it in stasis.
Okay, I mean they're both dead, just so you know.
Right, but the FBI might want them for something. I don't know, but they're important people. If they need their ID or if they need to check on something,
Yeah, okay.
we have their bodies. The guards will just clear all their gear and
Of
then
course you do.
launch them into space. Is that what you do with dead bodies in this world in this time?
I mean you usually give them like a sort of like launch their coffin into space or cremate their bodies, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll
if you
take
really
care of
want, you
them.
could just like you could load all the bodies into the single occupant pods. Because now, what I'm going to ask you actually, are you going to uh, look around the actual ship itself right now, or are you going to wait to do that later?
Well, we're going to clear the ship, make sure there's no anybody that she might not have known about. So we would clear the whole ship.
Okay. What I'm going to need you guys to do in that case, in the amount like, because there are uh, 6 decks to the ship. What I'm going to do is divide that in half. I'm going to need 3 separate air supply rolls from everybody.
Okay.
And to do air supply rolls, because we haven't really touched on that in a while, if ever, is if you see on your sheet under consumables, um, there is the air, like by default, everybody should have 6 air. Click the parachute icon to the right, and that's a supply roll. Okay, so let's see. So,
Woody,
Martin's.
does it really matter? I mean, if we get to half, the order is to head back to our ship and replenish and come back.
Yeah, that actually does make sense, especially because everybody's
If
doing
we're,
shit on
it's
their air
not
supply.
like in combat, you know.
True. But I mean, you also have to consider though is that if two things. Number one is that you have spent a bit of time here. You don't know if reinforcements are coming. The other thing is that the longer you wait, like, because here's the thing, is that you can go back and get like resupply your air tanks, but if everybody else has air, or like these NPCs have, they don't have air, then they could very well have suffocated by the time you get there. So what I'm going to say is honestly, by this point, you don't need to, do like a full sweep of the ship because everybody is dead.
Okay, so
Like, there's no
all right,
way that everybody, like, people could hold out this long while you guys are routinely dipping back to the ship and restocking your air. So the ship
okay,
is completely clear, except for the android that you found, but he's now your prisoner.
okay. So we'll head back to our ship. We're going to set up the tow, and we're going to get the hell out of here.
Okay. And
That's
you have
priority.
you have a tractor hitch, right?
Yep,
Okay.
because we had to get it for one of the missions.
Right. So you all recall to the Black Gauntlet. Are you going to go straight into cryo, or are you going to do anything else?
No, we're going to talk to both the android and the girl separately. But I
Okay.
just want to make sure we're moving and getting away here. Then we'll do the role play pieces. Then
Okay.
we'll
Because
go
the thing is that technically, I will note that you can actually like being like going to FTL itself and not being in cryosleep doesn't like kill you or do like cyberpsychosis, but what it does is that I think it's for every week, it's either every day or every week that you're going faster than light and you're not in cryosleep, you have to make a like I think a dislocation disorder or whatever it is, like an NDD roll. But if you're spending like no more than like a day or two out of cryo, you're fine. So I can say that
we're only talking a couple hours.
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying is that if you spend a couple of hours in FTL and you're not in cryosleep, it's no danger at all. So you're out
Okay.
of danger in the sense that you're going faster than light. Nobody's catching up to you. Um, but I'm saying you also have some time to be able to talk or do whatever else you want to do.
Okay. So I'll talk to the escape pod, the
What was
doctor.
the name of the android?
The android's name is Gray. G R
Gray.
A or Grey.
Cool. I was gonna put him down in my notes as though we talked Bishop, and I'm like, that's that's wrong, but technically I'm not half wrong about that,
Yeah.
to be honest.
So, um, so Horgus was saying he wanted to talk to Rena.
Correct.
Okay. Now the question is with her. I mean, I understand with Gray you're probably going to throw him into like a brig cell. Are you going to do that with Rena, or are you going to just talk to her in like the mess hall or something?
I'll talk to her in my executive suite.
um, and
If
yeah,
we've got two executive suite rooms, I mean, might as well use it.
yeah. Um,
And
so
it's on the map, so I could see it.
yep.
That's why
So
I knew what it's called.
um, so all right. So you want to talk to Rena, so she like if you tell her to go there, she'll go there without fuss. Um,
And then while
and
we're doing this for this 2 hours, can anybody repair Heather to get her backed up and working?
repairs for an android take a shift and a contact roll,
And how long's the shift?
6 hours.
We'll stay. Let's do it. Let's at least get her
Yeah,
working.
no, you have plenty of time to be able to fix Heather, but like I said, it is a contact roll. to heal her, and you have to have at least one success to do so. So who's going to do the contact roll? Let's knock that out right quick.
It's either Evelyn or Summer, right?
Most likely Evelyn.
And Summer can support her, right?
Yeah, Summer can give her. Well, here's the thing. So she can get up to, I think, a plus. Let's see. Does Mike have contact? Yeah, he's got 3 contact, surprisingly. Um, he's got
He
contact.
got everything.
Yeah, he does. Vinny has contact. Yeah, so Evelyn, you can roll with a +3. You would also get intense focus or whatever it is that gives you +2, and then you would also have, I think, do your electronic tools that gives you a +1, right? Emily, you there? Tech issues are muted. I don't know. Okay, well, yeah, I'll just do the roll just so we're not caught up on this because
Okay.
I don't know where Emily is. If she's talking or whatever, I can't hear her, so I just don't want to get too about this. So should we get a +6 overall? Okay, wow, 4 successes. So,
Heather
that
comes back.
so
As
Heather,
a bionic man.
yeah, Heather gets all of her HP back and her crit is restored. But Evelyn is going to be doing that for Evelyn and by extension Summer are going to be doing that for the rest of the shift. So before we jump over to Drill Sergeant Horgust and Renna, what about Chef and Martin and Arthur? What are the 3 of you doing?
You could probably imagine.
Yeah, probably.
Drinking.
As if he would be doing anything but.
Ding, ding, ding.
I
Yeah.
don't really know. So I'm just gonna say my character is gonna fucking join Arthur in drinking something.
Oh boy.
A new student for his shovel food dojo.
Well, he's gonna do
Exactly.
that and then make himself some lunch
Yeah.
with whatever is on the ship.
Yeah. Yeah, Arthur's over
So
here
we
like,
I'll
you
be
must
drinking all
master
the
the
NPCs.
art of drinking. You must know
we
your
have
liquor.
2 executive
just-
suites.
Apparently.
Yeah, one of those
I
is
just
going to
tell
be
him
the
it's
dojo.
I just tell him that I do it recreationally, dog. I'm not an alcoholic.
So,
But it was not for you. Go back to sleep.
all right. So anyway, so Arthur and Chef are doing their thing, and then Martin, is there anything you would like to be doing during the shift?
Maybe recovering because my health is still remarkably down.
Yeah, so you could maybe be like resting it off, getting medical treatment, that kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay, so you can do that. So that's what you'll be
Ronnie
doing.
can help you there.
Yeah. So, we'll say
So
that
how much
narrative.
would that?
So if this is over the course of a shift, it would take you. Well, you would probably be able to recover all your health in like 40 minutes. Um, so. So all
Okay.
your health is like long since recovered, and that goes for stress as well if you have any. Okay, so you're getting some R&R. Arthur and Chef are practicing their shovel food drinking, and so now we cut over to Horgust Hartman. I mean Horgust. So Brenna is waiting in your office, sitting in like a very like sort of like if she was a soldier in like the standard attention thing, she's sort of sitting at attention really.
Okay. Stiff back.
Pretty much. Like stiff back, arms at her side, looking at you dead on. So,
Yeah, Horgus comes in, stares at her, comes around his desk, sits in his chair, doesn't say anything, reaches in his drawer, gets his cigar out, lights his cigar, and looks at her. So, how did we get here?
um, so uh, Ren just says, I'm afraid I do not follow. Get here in what way?
You picked me up out of my shell and brought me here. That's how. Like what?
Well, why did you escape before the combat, and why?
Rena says that, and she very quickly on, you get a sense that she, is definitely an egghead. Like, she uses a bunch of words that Horgus probably hasn't even heard before, let alone probably couldn't pronounce. Giving like a long, like somewhat long-winded but thorough explanation about how she, in layman's, she, correctly made a calculated assumption slash risk that, like, so as she said to Tobias, she knew that you were like she knew that you were here, that you and the FBI most likely have a shared goal, and because she wants to get the information she has to the FBI, uh, and she knows that you are no friend of Wayland Utani, she viewed you as her best chance of getting out. So she, in the event that you destroyed the ship, like destroyed the Avalanos, that's why she punched out in an escape pod. Um, or in the event that you did something like, say your ship was destroyed and you managed to take over the Avalanos, then you could pick her up in the Avalanos. Or if you were retreating the system, then you would hope the hope would be that you would pick up the escape pod. So she calculate, it gives a number like an 83% chance that you would pick up my pod, kind of deal. And she explains that she said to Tobias that she believes that, like, that her goals, your goals, and the FBI's goals are like overlap. So, like, she has valuable intelligence that she wants to get to the FBI, and she needs your help in doing so.
So he takes a deep puff of his cigar and blows smoke in her direction. So you want me to believe that you want to report your father to the FBI?
And Rena says correct. And
And
she also
why?
adds that, and to that she says, um, if you knew what sort of horrible and unorthodox things that not only he and his staff have done, but he had forced other people, i.e. myself, to do, you would want to do the same thing.
Why don't you tell me about that?
So the question is, uh, would Tobias and or Horgus have given her the like given her her PDAT or her data drive back so she could show you?
No.
Okay. Um,
You like that one? No. She doesn't have her shit yet.
so,
Not yet, at least.
assuming, okay, and then what did you do with it? Do you have it or does Tobias have it?
I'm pretty sure Tobias would have given it to us, but that's, you would have to ask him what
Well,
he actually
Tobias,
does
would you
for it.
have handed over the Rena's stuff? I think he's still playing Daddy Daycare, so just to keep this moving, I'll say yes.
Okay.
So,
So it's probably on the desk nest sitting here with me. I probably brought it in with me.
yeah. So she doesn't dare try to reach for it. She just tells you, like, she mentions a specific file, like, directory and file to check, and then she, like, in terms of, because I believe the question was like intel about her father.
Well, she said he's done multiple things that are really disgusting, and I said, elaborate on that.
Yeah,
Give
well,
me some
she's
examples.
saying that she has a full dossier that she was originally planning to give to the FBI, but she has no problem with sharing with you, that outlines basic information about who her father is, what kind of things he's been doing, where he's located, uh, you know, pretty much just about everything you would want to know is on that. But any other questions
Okay.
you have that aren't, she will answer. So
Says,
are you
well, we need to run security on this before we can run it. Check it. I don't know who you are, and so far this group seems to want our butt for every little thing. So I need to have this checked, but I wanted to feel you out first. So she would, I would coax her in at least giving me some examples verbally, so
sure?
I could get a
Yeah.
sense.
Well,
I'm
what
guessing she
she'll
would.
tell you is that the company has been uh, experimenting with. She uses the phrase xenomorph XX121, as well as chemical A0-3959X.91-15. She gives both of those names and says that, basically Dr. Hemlock and his staff have been, experimenting on a mix of abducted colonists as well as like whenever like rival companies like saboteurs and spies are caught, he uses them as guinea pigs as well.
So how long has this experimenting been going on?
She says it's been going on since the Frontier War, if not sooner.
Add a character, how long is that?
So the Frontier War started, I believe, in 2184 because there was this whole like, well, actually no, it's definitely been longer than the Frontier War because the company has a bioweapons division, as mentioned by Burke in Aliens, and that was in 2179. And the company's been had this huge boner for getting alien specimens for decades. So she says that relative to like they've been doing it since she was conceived. She says, which she is in her mid 20s. I didn't have an exact number, but she's fairly youthful, and she says that they've been doing this for decades.
Okay. So have they been experimenting both with aliens and the black goo? What are
Yes,
they doing with the black goo?
she says that the black goo comes in different strains and has different like the company's scientists in collaboration with the Gaholgod Institute have come to understand that the she uses the lengthy name of the chemical again, has different strains do different things, and they're experimenting on both human beings and animals to see what those different strains do.
Has any of it been good or has it all been bad?
And she she would explain that knowing the uh like the wait, because I'm struggling with my own phrasing here. um it's definitely it is decide like unquestionably been bad. Like they have not like all they've been doing in all cases people are dying. So but that by itself is bad, but in terms of actual like gaining results from it, all they've done is just breed xenomorphs and experiment. Like they've used humans to create aliens, and then they tried like harnessing the power of the aliens, so to speak, but that has failed. Like they're trying to perfect the xenomorphs as bioweapons, but that isn't working, and they need humans to create the xenomorphs, and that isn't working. And as for the black goo, I mean, pretty much all it really does is either turn people into mutants at best and cause them to outright disintegrate and die at worst.
And you have proof that the company knows about this and they're supporting it? Or do you have proof that your father is doing this as a secret uh, division? But is there proof that the company knows? Is what I'm trying to get at.
And Rena says that absolutely that they are well aware. They aren't open about it, but she explains that uh, Dr. Bruce Hemlock is the new head of the bioweapons division because the original head of the bioweapons division was Michael Bishop. Michael Bishop ascended to the position of CEO of the Weyland-Yutani Corporation, and he's still publicly accredited as the director of special products of the projects of the bioweapons division. But Dr. Hemlock is the one who, like, he's basically ghostwriting on behalf of the company. Like, he's the one just doing all these horrible unethical experiments that nobody knows about to make Bishop look clean. So the
Okay.
company knows what Dr. Hemlock is doing. Like they just don't go, oh, by the way, we have scientists who are working on special projects that involve killing people.
Okay. And there's proof in there, so
Plenty of
that
proof.
helps. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
she
Okay.
explains that she has like she wrote up a full dossier on Dr. Hemlock and the stuff he's been doing and like information about where he's located, his security forces and stuff like that. And I actually have that as a handout that I'll show you whenever you actually want to look at it.
Okay. Um.
And then she also does have, and then on her data drive, she also does have like miscellaneous files that pertain to like basically a lot of like numbers and stats and stuff that like I don't have written up, but that's something that she would be able to provide. That like give like you know test results, like body count, like where people have been sourced from, how many people are stationed at the facility, etc. So she's got the whole 9 yards.
And that base that we just attacked, was that an actual working base?
It was.
And where did they
They
move
were.
everybody to?
Um, so Renna says that in terms of the with Sirius 77 that they did actually have like a legitimate outbreak happen there, and the people were they evacuated the station. She does not know where they went, like where the people who were working at that station went. She does not know, but she can tell you that there was a legitimate outbreak there, and that's why the company thought this would be the perfect way to trap you guys because either a all the creatures on the station would kill you, or if they didn't, then Captain Nolan and the crew of the Avalanos would.
Okay.
And she adds it was typical company overconfidence, suicidally so, if I might say.
It's to our benefit this time for a change against them.
Indeed, it is. Renna says.
So we've got how many days we got? Is it about a week and a half to get back to Earth?
So to get back to Earth, let's pull up the stars in the middle heavens. You guys are currently at the star Sirius. Um, but when you're towing something, I think your FTL rating doubles. Um, whereas upgrades, where's the tow cable or the towing module thing? Where is that? Tractor hitch. When towing external cargo, the FTL rating of the ship is doubled from 6 to 12, for example. So you effectively have an FTL rating of 5 because of Vinny, but because you're towing a ship, that's effectively 10. So it's 10 times the number of parsecs that you're traveling, which is 1, 2. So that's going to be 20 days to get there.
Okay.
Well, that's not
So
bad.
nah. Now let me clarify. If we put her in stasis, she can't voluntarily come out. Only the ship can pop her, right?
Yeah, only the like in the event like yeah, only authorization from, the captain or manual input from one of the crew would be like she can't wake herself up out of stasis.
Okay. So I tell her that we are on our way back to Earth. I can get you to meet with the FBI if that's what you wish.
I very much do, Rena says.
We've got probably 20, 25 days of travel to there. So if you're okay, I will escort you down, put you in the status, and then I will be there when you wake, and then we can meet with the FBI if you're agreeable.
Rena nods, and then she waits for you to stand up before she stands up.
So that's what I do. I get up
Okay.
and take her down
Okay. So she makes her way
and
to
get her in
the.
status.
Yep. So and then she will, um, you know, undon her Presidium suit, like the Prometheus suit, and get to bare clothing levels for cryo sleep. Same as like the Sulaco crew, and she enters the pod and like basically once again kind of lies at like at an attention pose, kind of like where she's like completely stilted, just sort of standing there like but lying down. And then the pod shuts. The thing like freezes up slightly. Her eyes fade shut, and so she is now in stasis. So what do you do next?
To do a security check on her equipment, would that be a comm check?
It would be Comtech, but I'm going to tell you right now that there is no need to roll because they're like, I'm not going to make you roll if there's no risk of something being a trap. Like there is no like malware or you know backdoor or any sort of shit that she's trying to pull on you. You don't need to do. I mean, if you really want to, you can, but I'm just telling you, there's no need for it because there's no risk
We
of failing.
would just for
Okay.
security reasons. Yeah.
Okay. So have whoever has the highest Comtech do a Comtech roll, or whoever
It
wants to do it.
doesn't matter. Just in role play terms, we check it.
Okay. Well, yeah. No, you can check. I'm just saying you don't need to do a roll for it. So you can
Yeah.
have
Okay.
Evelyn
Yeah.
or whoever. Yeah, you can have
Yep.
Evelyn
I'll
like.
be doing
Yeah.
the check through it, make sure
Okay.
nothing's
Yeah. Like I said, you don't need to roll
bad.
for it, but like at some point after you put like Humpty Heather back together again, um, you uh, you can look up like you can do like like an antivirus scan on the data drive, and there is nothing like if you like depending on how thorough you are, like even if you're at your best, like there is nothing there, so you're in the clear.
So the question I have for you, Cody, is to go over all her information to get all the good things out of it, just to do a scan. What skill is that? Is that going to be observation?
Well, usually if you're trying to get extra information out of something, it's a Comtech roll and you get stunts. But like I said before, this is something because it's kind of plot critical. I'm not going to make you roll because if you roll and you fail, then it's punishing me more so than you. So I'm not going to do that. Like I will basically, you can just open the drive and look at the dossier that she wrote up.
Uh,
So if you want to do that, I will make that handout visible.
okay, yeah, and I'll let everybody know that if they want to read this information after I do, they can look at it. So all the players can look at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
So
make
I'm
sure
gonna
it's available for everybody.
It probably wouldn't hurt if we made like a copy so we have a copy for our records.
yeah, no, you
Yep,
can do
I'm
that.
gonna put it on my external drive that
Yeah.
I have.
So I'm gonna show
Nice.
players and then you guys can read over that.
Then I gotta go also to go talk to
The
the
Android.
EXO, the android. Um, I'll go up to him. I'll meet him at the jail. I mean, is it bars? Is it door?
It
What are they
is
using?
so it's kind of like Alien Covenant or not Alien Covenant, Alien Isolation, where it's a sealed door with a window on it and there's an intercom.
Oh, okay. Um, we know he's not an aggressive android, right?
Yeah, no, he's completely incapable of performing violence against humans.
I'll bring a couple of our PCs, like our fighters, especially Arthur's a hand-to-hand guy, right?
Yeah.
So if in case he does trip out and start flipping out, um, but I will go in to the room with him, and if there's not two chairs, I'll bring two chairs with.
All right.
I don't know what the room looks like, so
Well, so the room
um,
basically has like a bunk bed, built into the wall. So I mean he's standing there unless you tell him to take a seat,
I'll hand him a chair and say, if you wish to sit, you may.
and he complies and he sits down.
All right, and I'll bring my chair in and I'll sit down, and I go,
And
I'm
you notice
Captain
also,
Barton.
ironically enough, that sorry to cut you off, but ironically enough, the fucking android is more at ease than the fucking human being. As a point of
Oh yeah,
interest,
he's an
like,
android. Yeah,
well, I
they
mean,
don't
yeah,
know
but
any
he's more of
better.
a robot than a human, so, but he
Yep,
still like has like a casual kind of pose as opposed to Rena, where she was like at ease as if she was, or not at ease, like at attention like a fucking soldier.
yep.
So
I'll say I'm Captain Horgust Ormel. I run this band of misfits, and it seems we've made enemies with you.
and Gray speaks up and he says, um, yes, that does appear to be the case, and he goes on to explain that um, his, that he, like he makes it clear that he has, um, you know, like thorough loyalty to the company, but he says that, like he cites like a some sort of robotics code thing, like kind of like a code of conduct, not necessarily the laws of robotics, but he explains that like as effectively a prisoner of war that he is bound uh to answer answer questions, as long as he's not like mistreated. So
Just I plan not to mistreat you. That's not who we are. That's what Wayland likes to do, but that's not what we do. And I'm sorry that your captain and your ship has fall upon this fate. It looks like it was a good ship, and from what I understand, your captain was a good captain.
and yes, he does sort of briefly pity Captain Roger Nolan, and he uses his full name, but um, he pities Captain Nolan and the loss of, um, the loss of all hands of the USCSS Avalanos. But he says that they were aware of the risks when they undertook this mission. Although the reality is that reality is that like myself, they didn't have a choice in the matter.
Do you know who ordered the attack?
He says that the mission to apprehend your crew was personally ordered by Dr. Bruce Hemlock, and the ship, the Avalanos, is actually Hemlock's personal ship.
Oh, his personal ship?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Um, do you know what the standard orders were if the ship didn't respond back?
Um, Gray mentions that you know if a certain if a certain amount of time uh, had passed where the Avalanos had not reported back in, the standard practice would be to dispatch a ship from the closest corporate installation to the site in question to investigate, and if no sign of the crew is found, then the ship is presumed uh, to be compromised. And basically, in terms of game terms, in terms of time, what that means is, um, if the Avalanos does not report back in, which speaking of which, so what I want to call you guys' attention to, so on the map, this is the planet that, from the briefing that Rena wrote up, this is where that planet is, Marduk.
Wait,
And
said it. Poke it again.
I will make a circle. It is right here. Oop,
Okay.
wrong tool. It's right at this system. So basically, uh, if the Avalanos was going, because in terms of like horizontally, they're actually the same sort of band. So if the ship went 1, 2, 3, because speaking of which, the Avalanos has a fucking FTL rating of what is it, 2, the fastest ship in the game. Um,
Jesus.
so the Avalanos could that's bad for you though, because that means that it's less time spent, waiting for another ship to arrive. Because if another ship arrives and doesn't find the Avalanos, then they're going to sound the alarm in short order.
Yep. And the closest base would be
The closest base,
JG 682.
no. That's where Dr. Hemlock. That's where the
Okay.
Avalanos was deployed from. Uh,
Okay.
And the closest company installation would probably be, because the problem is that a lot of these stars are kind of undefined. Um, Honestly, it would probably be from Earth, because Earth is very close by, and the company, like, uh, Weyland-Yutani has most of its offices in the Sol system, like, because its predecessor, Weyland Corps, well, one of its two predecessors, Weyland Corps, their headquarters was actually on Mars. Um, but that's still in the Sol system, so basically same difference. So the nearest response team would be coming from Sol and would get there in honestly like a matter of days. So you very well may have already passed them.
Okay.
So like basically Gray is saying that if the ship was like if the ship is reported missing, then the standard protocol is to assume it is either lost with all hands or is compromised somehow. But that does not necessarily mean that um, the ship is presumed captured.
Okay. And was a radio command sent out that we were there and you were engaging?
Affirmative.
Okay.
So the company does know that they like Dr. Hemlock and his staff know that Captain Nolan's like expedition team had found you.
Okay. Do you know if the ship had any special tracking mechanisms put in that the doctor could always find his ship?
And he says yes.
Do you know where it's at?
He I as a player wouldn't necessarily know exactly, but he would point out that um, because you disabled the ship, that would also disable the beacon.
Oh, it doesn't have its own internal power supply. That kind of makes those beacons kind of stupid.
Well, I mean, you blew up the ship, so
I know, but normally you, you have the beacon, so when your ship loses power, you
oh
can
yeah,
track
that's
it.
actually, no, that's a good
I
point.
mean,
That's a good point. So I'll backpedal on that. So the ship would have a distress beacon, um, and he would give you the location to find it. Um, so you can obviously do
if
that if you.
if we want to disable that, do we have to pop out of our warp, right?
Yeah, you would have to
And
drop out
transfer.
FTL to be able to do it.
Let's. I'll put a. Once I hear this, um, I'll command. We need to drop out of FTL. There's a tracking beacon on the towed ship. I'll give Evelyn location where it's at, and ask Evelyn to transfer over there, take a drop shuttle, and take a couple players and whoever wants to go with her, just
Yep.
to guard her.
Okay.
Also,
So all right. So Evelyn,
I'll
remind
bring
me when we uh
Martin along.
okay when you tried disabling that when you disable the beacon on Simmons' ship. Do you remember if that was a Comtech or a heavy machinery roll?
I think it was a Comtech roll.
Okay, so I'm going to have you do a Comtech roll. It's going to be the fucking um whatchamacallit, like the usual modifiers. Like it's going to take a turn to do, um, and you will get a +3 from helping people helping you. So that's +5 overall. But what I need to do is check something right quick. So you do your
I'm
roll.
guessing that I'm guessing it's just my skill. None of my like equipment will
Well,
give my
your
bonus.
diagnostic device actually will. So that would bring you up to 7.
Cool.
So,
That one's active. Comtech, and I get my bonus from intense focus as well.
yes, so that's part of the +7.
+7.
Yeah, total of +7. Because you 2 from intense focus, 3 from people helping you, 2 from the diagnostic device. So that's 7.
Yep. the diagnostic device gets added automatically. So
I think it does. So that would just be a 5. Do you want to push?
yeah, I'll push. I think this situation
Okay.
where worse the push,
Very
the
good
better.
call. Because as it turns out, there was actually uh, some force on the ship that was opposing you. And you just narrowly broke a
Oh,
tie, so you did manage to crack the code. So there's that. But you do manage to disable the beacon, and there's that. So that's a done deal. With that, I
Okay.
assume you pile back aboard the Black Gauntlet and resume your journey.
1 second before we take off, I want to send a radio message to our FBI agent or
Uh,
contact.
to Becker,
Mm-hmm. And the captain of that other ship that was our friend.
Shelby.
Mm-hmm. Both of them, I will say, uh, we need to make a delivery of a really hot pizza. Um, wondering if we should come home or meet somewhere else. Let me know.
um, um, okay, let me process that because I'm too
You
busy
like my
laughing.
code messages, dude?
Yes, yes.
Dude, I had to think for a couple minutes on that one. How do I get this message across?
Okay,
If
I love
anybody's
it.
scanning
I'm going to
for
give you an extra point
where,
of XP for that because that was actually pretty funny and clever. So, really hot pizza.
That that nice one, Tom.
Oh
but
my
it's going
god.
to be hard for the scrubbers to realize that that if somebody's scrubbing all the comms,
Yeah.
that's not
So,
going to pop.
um, what I will say is because remember, FTL communication, like communication over long distances, is not exactly the fastest thing. But I will say if you kind of either loiter around or travel through Lightspeed for a while, you will eventually have picked up a message of from Becker of you know like where are we picking it up?
Uh, Miller would probably. I would tell Miller that he needed to monitor that and to wake me.
Wake me when you need me, said
If he
Master Horgust.
yeah yeah if you need be, otherwise if their location is given, just redirect to that location. But since she didn't give it a location, he would have to wake me up.
Yeah,
Um,
just waiting. This is the joke I was making. Horgust to Miller.
oh yeah, because we hate each other. But he's starting to get on my good side because he just like teleported us right on top of the other ship in like 1 round. So I like that. He impressed me there. I don't
Aw,
know
you're
what
becoming
would be a
buddies.
good
I mean,
place.
you could, I mean, you could very well meet up in like deep space or something, or you could, like, the thing is that if you take, for example, if you take Rena and Gray to the FBI office on Earth, that's pretty fucking secure. And also, um, if the company decides to just randomly attack you, like first of all, assuming they have people in the Sol system, it's not like them attacking you in the middle of nowhere like they just did. Like that would be noticed and action would be taken against you or taken against them. So like if
All
you
right,
go to Earth,
that's
it would
what.
actually be safe.
Okay, I was worried about that because they could intercept us coming in, and
Well,
we're
what I'm saying,
dragging their
well,
ship, and they would be like, "Hey, that's our ship. What did you do, our ship?" And then the next thing we get into a BS fight, and I don't. That's why I was wondering about it.
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I mean, they would definitely notice that it. Yeah, oh, hold on. So your concern was about the Conestoga, not the fucking people you captured?
Well, both, but
Okay.
coming into Seoul with dragging their ship,
Yeah,
and if
because
they're a big presence here, I was like, that's probably not a good idea to go
yeah,
there.
yeah, that is actually a good point. If you didn't have like law enforcement, approval, then that would reflect poorly on you unless you were able to talk your way out of it. But in terms of like, because nobody's going to know that you have Gray and Rena and Hypersleep, but they are going to notice the fucking enemy ship that you're dragging. So if you want to meet in deep space, for example, and give coordinates to Shelby and Becker, you absolutely can do
Let's. How secure is that by giving coordinates?
that. I mean, the company isn't bugging your ship, so
But can comms be intercepted in this game?
as far as I know, no. So I'm going to say no.
Okay, then I'll give coordinates to meet somewhere.
Okay. So you give FTL coordinates, and I would say that because actually with I need to double check the Bison class ships engines because that's Shelby's ship. CM 88H, I guess. Yeah, no, they would actually be faster than you because you're dragging another ship. So what I'll say, actually no, I think yeah, no, whatever. It's about the same. So you give the coordinates. I'll say you arrive there slightly early, um, because you were traveling first and you set the coordinates. So you probably have like another day or two before they arrive. Do you want to do anything during that time?
Yeah, we'll send Arthur out in the spacesuit and have him start working on repairing our armor.
Yeah, because you can,
Oh
um,
boy.
yeah,
Yeah, because that's your job. You're the heavy machinery dude.
yeah, because you
Well,
can. I mean, or you could also use Vinny or both. Because
We could do
Vinny,
both.
well, here's the thing with Vinny, because Vinny is heavy machinery. He's got 12. Like he's Miller, but as a mechanic,
Right.
and he also has, well, no, he doesn't have um, well, the bolt
And
gun would help.
Arthur,
So,
what's your heavy machinery total?
8 total. But 7 of that is strength. So I'd like to think that if something's messed up, he just bends the metal
yeah.
to
So, and on top
fix
of
it.
that, so let me put it this way. So in terms of hull repairs, Vinny has, because first of all, Vinny doesn't need to breathe, unlike Arthur. Second of all, Vinny has, because I forgot he has a bolt gun, which would give him a +2, so he's looking at a 14 dice pool.
All right, so we'll send Vinny out. So he could pull armor off of the other ship and put it on ours, right?
Well, I mean, that's the repairs. So for component damage, you need parts, but for hull damage, no, you can just repair it.
Well, I mean, that ship's probably full of parts, isn't it?
But my point is that depending on what you want to do with it, if you want to actually, uh, like for example, try to take over this ship and add it to your collection, uh,
Ah,
if you scrap it for parts, you can't do that. So, I mean, like basically what I'm saying is that component damage is off the table, but repairing your hull is completely doable.
Okay, so we'll repair the hull. And could Evelyn work on our sensors to fix our sensors?
No, because as I said, that's a like so I know it says Comtech, but that's for emergency repairs in combat. Or actually I think well okay, for emergency repairs in combat, but also um for if you actually want to fix it, because the problem is that you need parts and you don't have parts.
How do you get parts?
Well, you can either take it like you can either pay for them like at a ship like a dry dock, or you can scrap a ship kind of like Twilight 2000. Like in Twilight 2000 you can, um, you know, if you like you can tear apart a vehicle for spare parts, but you are tearing apart the vehicle. Like so you're permanently breaking it to get the parts to repair yours.
Oh, so here's the question for you, Cody. Which of the two big ships is better?
The Avalanos by far.
All right, so let's not. I'd rather scrap the Gauntlet and repair the, if we can afford it. For that FTL2 is sweet.
Yeah, because here's the thing: is that the Black Gauntlet. I mean, if you want a ship to sell or to to scrap for parts, then just fucking scrap the Joker's Wild. Like that honestly probably would make more sense. Or if you want parts, you can always just buy parts and then not have to scrap any of your ships, and then you look at that, you have 3 ships. So,
What do we need for ships?
I mean, it's up to you guys.
I mean, what do you guys think? To me, I'd rather just stick with one big ship and have Simons as our little Putski thing, and then our drop ships.
Okay, honestly, right now it just sounds like grass is greener on the other side. We have a good ship. Like, is that FTL sweet? Yeah, sure. How much is it going to take to repair this? What Avalanos?
Yeah, the Avalanos. So the Avalanos would require it's going to require some hull repairs because it in terms of its crits, it got. Let me go back to the space battle map. The Avalanos had a
Yeah, two
total of
crit.
3 crits. Actually, no,
Sweet.
two crits. That
One
could
of
be
which
repaired.
is the bridge.
Yeah, because the
You
bridge.
know,
Mm.
So
kind of thing that we need to be in.
yeah, because
And another thing about the sorry, Cody. I don't mean to talk
yeah. Well,
over you.
I'll just finish this thought right quick. So in terms of if you want to repair the Avalanos, you would need to repair the hull damage, which you can do for free, but you obviously need to have machinery roll. There are 2 crits that need to be fixed, including, as Martin said, the bridge. If you fix all the hull damage and those 2 crits, the ship can be used. So
What
Okay.
would that cost?
Yes.
a spare part is typically 100 grand. You would need a total to fix all of the damage to the Avalanos. You would need, so let's see, the sensor malfunction, like, because basically, like, the reason I know this is because, so each roll that you do, like a repair roll, requires one part of the respective type, like an electronic or like a mechanical, and then a roll. So Comtech, so that's one. It would be 400 grand. 2 heavy machinery and 2 Comtech. So $400,000, and then you repair the damage to the hull, and obviously, you would probably have to talk it out with Becker to be able to like have ownership of the ship transferred to you because it is still technically Weyland-Yutani's ship. But if you clear those hurdles, then the Avalanos is yours.
Already. And subsystems,
I'm also going to do that
are they
Comtech roll for Vinny.
comparable?
Hold on a second. So I'm just going to do this roll before I forget. Okay, so oh wow, poor Vinny. He got 1 success, so he only has 1 point. But now hold on though. He can, but because it takes a shift per repair, he can do it again. So, but we'll
Yep.
do that in a sec. So, the Black Gauntlet. So, okay. So, what was your question, Tom?
Can you actually share this this ship? I want to compare the modules.
Yeah, because the Avalanos is, and also I have 2 different. Actually, what can I drag crits onto the? Yes, I can. Excellent. Um, just to represent the damage to it. Um, So I'm going to do that. Okay, so I will share the sheet of the Avalanos, um, if I can. All right, configure ownership. Okay, so you should see in the main actors handout toward the bottom RRTT-3 USCS as Avalanos.
Yep, I got it.
That is the Avalanos.
Oh, I was gonna say something before I forget.
Yeah. What was that?
After going through all my bonuses, I have 2 thoughts. First one is after going through all my bonuses, my dice pool total, because I also have the intense focus because of how long it would take. I have a dice pool total of 11,
Wow.
and I can actually, if I get help with other people, that brings it up to 14 total, and I can actually push the roll to get more successes.
Okay.
My second thought is that we may not want to take the Avalonis because, like, unless we do some like major changes to what it looks like, it is a very recognizable kind of ship, and because it's owned by a Weyland Yutani person, it could
Yeah,
put a
only Dr.
big target
Hemlock.
on us back. Yep. She
Yeah,
could put
we
a
already have a
target on our
target on our.
backs.
We already have a target on our back. That's the.
Well, here's the thing though, with Dr. Hemlock's ship. So number one, Evelyn, as I said, with your earlier roll, you just narrowly edged out. I mean, just in a meta sense, it was Mother that was opposing you. You managed to,
Okay.
actually succeed. So you shut off the beacon. So Dr. Hemlock can't track his ship, nor can any other company agents. So like control of the ship, like the beacon is off, and then so they can't track it. And then here's the thing: is then if you legally speaking, because the company could always go, well, these fucking pirates stole our ship. Uh, if you talk to Becker about it and you give a good argument, he may very well, hand over that ship to you. I mean, that might will definitely require some dialogue and possibly a roll, but it is possible. So, like, if you clear the hurdles of, just to recap, number one is you shut off the beacon, so that's check that off. Get ownership of talk your handler into giving the ship, and then fix the damage to it, including the crits, and the ship is yours.
Okay.
Yeah, this Avalanos, all the modules are upgraded.
The Avalonis is basically a standard Conestoga, except for two things. Number one is that it does not have any nukes, but it does have it has a fucking whatchamacallit, an upgraded hangar, like a max size hangar, and it also has um, a uh, like an upgraded Class D lifeboat module. Like it has individual escape pods, well -1, but it also has um, it actually has a Class D lifeboat module, which is the big escape pod from Prometheus, and that thing is not only like a sort of a personal luxury suite, but it also has like 20 escape pods and the facilities to be able to sustain people.
Mm.
But it doesn't have planetfall capacity, and could we add that to that?
Yeah, you can upgrade you can upgrade the Avalanos to have planetfall like capacity. That is a thing.
And can we? So do we need a science lab? Do we ever
This
use a science lab?
Well, science labs actually give you bonuses to certain skill rolls, um, such as let's check the modules. So the science lab, is that even on this ship? If it isn't, it should
It's
be.
not on the Avalanos. It's not.
Oh,
We
okay
have
then.
it on the Black Gauntlet. I'm just wondering if we
Then I
need to
need to add that
transfer,
because I didn't realize it wasn't
get
on
it
there.
transferred over.
Why can't I add this to? There we go. So the science lab, there we go. I added that. So science lab, yeah, because it gives you the +2 modification to observation rolls using the analysis talent, and I will give you a hint. There is a character who has it. But um, in terms of the science lab, I added that because that was just a mistake on my part. The Avalonis does have a science
Okay.
lab. So because it is predominantly a science ship, albeit one that is very heavily armed.
Plus, we were going to upgrade defensives, and the new ship
Is
has laser rays, sensor drones, and sensor decoys.
Yeah.
Um, Now, the only we would have to bring over is our salvage crane and our tractor hitch, and that could be brought over easily, right? For cost,
Yes.
because that's just external modules, right?
Yeah.
But
I would
everything
say it
else
would
is an
still cost
upgrade over
money to
here.
actually transfer the module over. Like I would say maybe
Yeah.
about like half the cost of the actual module.
Okay.
I didn't say it would, like I didn't make it like the full cost because then why not just buy another? But like it would still cost you money to move one to the other.
And they don't have a vehicle bay.
The
So we,
Avalanos?
yeah.
God, why
So
does
we
this
would need to
ship have
bring
like
that.
this? It does have a vehicle bay. This ship should have a fucking vehicle bay, but it wasn't added onto the goddamn thing. The guy who made it, he's a nice guy, but he Like for example, for the CMOM, like the NPCs, like there's straight up some NPCs that are missing. It's just stupid. So spaceships at 218380. Okay, so Conestoga, because there's no way this thing wouldn't have a vehicle bay. We see that in Aliens. Uh, okay, why is it not there? Okay, it would have a vehicle bay. I will determine what size later. Anyway,
Okay.
um,
So
so
really, the only
apologies
we'd
to
have to
him
bring
then.
over. Yeah. Now the other question is do we have any more gum ports, or are they all full?
You could add guns to this thing, because here's the thing. So the Avalanos. Oh wait, that's a Black Gauntlet. Never mind. Hold on. The Avalanos as a Conestoga. So it has a total of, if I did my math correctly, or like when I was looking at these like ship classes. Um, so ship classes. Okay, so an R class ship, which the Avalanos is, it has a total of um, 2 size 3 hard points and 4 size 2 hard points. And so the nuke launcher was taking like would normally take up a size 3, but this ship does not have one. Whereas I need to double check the railguns. So the railgun is size. Oh, oh, hold on a sec. You know what I realized? Um, if a ship has it like integrate. Let me get back to you on that because this just doesn't make any sense. But the short answer is maybe. Um,
Because I wouldn't mind bringing over our railguns if we have the space to put them on.
well, like I said,
And what would
I
the
gotta.
cost be? That would be too. I would need to know.
I would say it would probably again be half the cost of the actual weapon.
Okay.
So, but I
So
will
my
think it
suggest,
over because
yeah, it's a party decision. I don't want to be the only one that makes that call, but you guys can all decide. But my vote would be to, if we can talk the FBI into letting us take the ship, I would suggest we do, and then we could get it renamed, right?
you can, yeah.
And then it could be the new Black Gauntlet, because I like that name. Then we just sell the old Black Gauntlet.
Why would you?
Why? Because we don't need two. That's now we need to have more crew, and it just
You were
complicates
planning to
battles.
hire more crew.
I, right? Because we don't have enough crew to mount what we
If you
have
handle the
now.
space battle just fine.
Yeah, yeah, no, I, I, I don't see why we need like all these ships. I'd rather stay
Yeah,
small and have fun just being a small unit versus the bigger you get, then we've got to fight more ships, which just means more of a chance of dying because space battle is just, to me,
choof choof.
it's
That's what it is. Choof choof.
yeah, it's boom boom and you're dead. It, it, I yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, if you want to sell it, I won't stop you, but I mean, that's something to think about.
We
Anyway,
would probably need to sell it in order to pay to get this thing upgraded or repaired. I don't
yeah.
think, or we don't have the money. It
Well,
depends on how much the FBI pays us
yeah,
for
well, yeah,
this information.
we're
So
going to get to that, but anyway, so because we got way off topic, so do you guys want to do anything else um during the time that you're waiting for Becker and Shelby?
I don't. I mean, does anybody else have anything?
Nope.
Besides just making sure the maintenance gets done, uh, nothing real particular springs to mind.
Okay, I'm not going to bother
Fine.
doing the mechanics rules for now if you guys are going to try talking Becker into owning the Avalanos. Um,
Yep,
so
that's fair.
okay, but so is anybody going to want to do anything like unthaw the NPCs and or talk to them, or like what do you want to do?
No.
Okay.
Keep them asleep until she gets in system. Then we'll wake her up, get her cleaned up, in the time it takes her to fly to our ship and stuff like that.
Okay.
Uh,
And the other NPCs we put in cold storage are dead, so I don't really think we can.
Yeah, that's
Cap
true.
them
Because
that
yeah,
much.
I almost forgot that you did capture Nolan and then the captain of the guards. Um, so
And then the XO. Was there
Gray.
any other questions anybody think of that I need to ask him? I got the key ones, but I figured we'd do more questions once the FBI person's here. Because she would probably want to speak with him and we can interrogate him together, you know?
Mm.
So I think we're good, Code.
Yeah, from the sound of it. So yeah, about like a day and a half later, you do eventually you know the small fleet that you encountered like when you first met Shelby, like her fleet bandits drops at FTL. You are uh, hailed by Becker, who uh, he's at the bridge with Shelby, and he's saying, Agent Edward Becker to Black Gauntlet. I think I see what pizza you were talking about. He says as he notices the smoking wreckage of the Avalanos.
He says, would you like to, I'll message him back, say, would you like to come aboard?
And he says as long as you're offering.
Yes, come aboard.
All right,
What about
so
the other captain? Did we ever get a response back from her?
well, Shelby's here. Like
Okay.
she was the one who gave Becker a ride.
Okay, cool.
Like he's just doing the one talking because he has more authority than her.
Okay.
So, but she is there. So, um, the pilot, like you can hear Shelby saying in the background to her pilot to bring the command ship like starboard side on the Black Gauntlet. So, you have approximately like 10 to 20 minutes before the ship docks. Is there anything you want to do particular with regards to both Rena and Gray as well as the two bodies?
We'll leave the bodies where they are. Well, I'll wake up the doctor and let her get cleaned up, and then I'll bring her to my executive room again.
Okay. And when
And
I
then
say bring it, I was thinking like, hold on. Is there a GIF for? Nope. I was looking for a GIF from Halo Wars where the fucking evil arbiter is like dragging people by the neck.
no, dude, I told her I would be there when she woke up,
Oh, I
so
know. Well,
I'm
when you were
there.
saying like bringing her to the bridge, then that's what I was thinking. Based on the fact that Horgus was smoking a cigar and blowing smoke in her face, like.
Hey, he's intimidating. You're in my room, and I don't know who you are, and so
That's what I was saying about intimidating. He fucking hauls her by the neck, but in all
no, I'm
seriousness, I'm
not.
just.
I'm not intimidating. No, I'm not intimidating now. I mean,
Okay.
she's help, but I security.
I know. I know.
I
I was just joking around. So,
Well,
so
at
I'll
least
make sure she gets
mm.
something to eat and drink, and oh, Cody, make sure you look at my messages to you, because I would want to do that too. The new ship.
do. Oh yeah, I saw that earlier. Oh yes.
I got to make sure my crew is taken care of.
Well, if you're gonna
Does it,
do that, you're gonna need the resources for it. Though I can,
does
I
it have?
not. What's up, Arthur?
So
I was just gonna say, do ships in this have a VIN like cars do? Like a little.
Not that I know of.
Okay.
So I'll just say no. But what I was going to say to
Okay.
Horgus is the idea of, if you want Mike manning that station, he could probably do it.
so our ship has like on the map it shows two med labs. We never really used the thing, not med, science labs.
I thought
So
you said executive offices because there were
no,
two of
no,
them.
no, 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 no. My message to you. So just to let everybody know, I asked Cody if we could take one of the labs and turn it into a distillery, so we could be making our own liquor for you guys, because you guys seem to like to drink a lot. So Morgan's
Oh
like, I
yeah.
gotta take care of my men.
I'm
We'll have our
teaching
own beer.
the
We'll make
crew.
our own beer.
Okay. But anyway, so Horgus brings after Rena has had a a meal and gotten dressed and all that's not necessarily in order, mind you, but she makes her way to the office with Horgus, and once again takes a seat in a very proper kind of way, like posture wise, and just looks at him
Yep.
expectantly.
I tell her I'll be right back. Our contact is here. I'll escort her back to here. So if you just wait here, I'll be right back.
And Rena says, understood, and she just sits patiently.
All right, so I'll go meet with our contacts.
Yeah, because
And then bring
basically,
her
yeah,
back.
because by the point that you're starting to walk out of your office, you feel the clang of the umbilical hitting, like from Shelby's ship hitting yours, and you make your way, like, because the executive office is actually, if I remember correctly, on the same deck as the airlock. So, like, basically, as soon as you're walking out of the office, like within a couple minutes before you even round the corner, you almost literally bump into Becker and Shelby.
Oh, okay. Greet them and say, "Hey, how's it going? Thanks for coming out and meeting. I figured it'd be better to do it out here than too many watchful eyes on planet."
And Becker says, after, from what I can tell, from what you've brought in, and potentially what you've brought in that I haven't seen yet, that I can definitely see why you would be wise to do that. So, Becker says, well, I guess we should discuss your findings. Where would you like to have our meeting?
I got my room ready, and I have our contact. It's the doctor's daughter, believe it or not.
And
She,
yeah, Becker looks a little surprised and just kind of completely disappointed. It says the doctor has a daughter.
from what I understand, that's who she is. I'll hand the uh, the information that she brought.
Okay.
It ends up that she escaped from that ship behind us before the battle, and she was carrying this information. It's got a lot of damaging information on it. We've reviewed it. I also have the XO of the ship down in the brig. He's an android. He's the only survivor. We do have the bodies of the captain of the ship and the captain of their guards. If you need the bodies.
Yeah. And Becker says, I mean, well, they should be good um, for the sake of an autopsy, or identification. And he says to Shelby, and he says, Captain, why don't you go attend to that, and I'll have a talk with this contact at Horgus. And Shelby says, understood, sir. And she she looks over to Horgus and says, you got anybody who can give me a hand with these?
Yeah. Hey, I'll call out some players,
Okay.
NPCs, whoever wants to help her.
Okay.
If
So
anybody wants to talk to her. And then I'll lead him over to
okay.
my executive office.
Okay. So Becker, he follows uh Horgust into his office, uh and he notices Rena sitting there. Rena's pretty much sitting in the exact same position she was before, and she just kind of eyes uh Drill Sergeant Horgust and Edward Becker as they you know make their way into the room. And Becker says, "So I take it you're Horgus contact," and Rena responds with, "Yes, sir," and she introduces herself as Rena Hemlock, and they have a little brief, uh, like a very basic discussion for a couple of minutes, and then they look to Horgus, and Becker says, you know, I'll have a chance to look over your data and thorough, but based on what you've told me, because I'm assuming you would then relay like what you've learned.
Yeah.
So what Becker tells you uh, is he says after talking to you and then talking to Rena, he says, well, all right, Captain, you've got a choice. So now that we know that Wayland Utani is responsible for all this, and that we have a name to who's pulling the string here, I'll give you a choice. The contract can end here, where you get your 2.5 mil, and you can consider your business with the FBI concluded. Or if you're willing to go a step further and personally capture Hemlock alive and bring him into custody, uh, I will actually not only double your payment, but I'll throw in 2 special rewards. And just kind of waits to see what your response to that is.
I would be interested in capturing him,
What's a surprise?
but
What's
I would
the
also
what's the reward?
hold on. I didn't say what the reward. Sorry, out of character. I already know the reward, so
Yeah.
because
You might
we
not
talked
care
about.
about the reward.
No. I mean, is
So
I
much for
already
caring
know the
about his crew.
reward out of character. But Horgus, there's a reason I'm doing it this order.
Mm-hmm.
And Cody knows what I'm doing because I
Yeah.
talked to him
Mm-hmm.
already about it. Horgus goes, well, it is nice to capture him, but we need to destroy his base, and that needs to be part of the mission.
And
We cannot have this technology and what is happening there continue.
and Brenna actually like clears her throat lightly and asks to both Becker and to Horgus, gentlemen, permission to speak.
I look at the FBI agent like I'm fine with it. Kind
Yeah,
of look.
so Becker looks to her and says, "What's the question?" And then Renna mentions the fact that she says, "Well, she is very much in favor of you know, you know, reducing the reducing such an awful place to rubble. The caveat is that there were because this would have been in the information that she would have and I forgot to mention earlier the information that she gave to both like that was on her data drive that was not like the report that I showed you guys earlier was her report on Dr. Hemlock. What she would also mention is that there, at least when she left, there were still people alive in holding cells waiting to be experimented on. So if you blow that place up like just outright, you're going to kill a bunch of innocent colonists.
Sorry, Cody. That's what I remembered. I remembered that piece, and I put it to the wrong piece.
Yeah, well, that's a thing. So now everybody knows that is that if you outright destroy Hemlock's base, you will catch a bunch of civilians in the crossfire.
But we could get them out.
Yes, I mean it would be very difficult to do, but getting them out is entirely possible.
And how many are there?
Um, in terms of exact numbers, let me uh, check a map right quick, because where is that? And then view that. Just give me a sec. Oh God, even just with WebP and tiles and stuff, it takes forever to load. Okay, so Rena would let you know that she doesn't like the numbers might have changed since she was last there, but according to the records that she has, one of the prison blocks has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people being held. So that number may have changed whether from people being brought in or people dying. But last she knew, according to the records she has at the time she defected, there were 11 people being held prisoner.
And there's a queen, and how many aliens are there?
I never said it was poison, but in all seriousness, in
I thought
terms
you
of,
told me there was a queen there.
well, I did, but
I thought
yeah,
that would be in the information. So if
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not, then
yeah,
you can say you don't
yeah.
know that.
Well, yeah, no, it would be in the information. That is a good catch. So, in terms of how many aliens there are, um, again, these numbers are entirely subjective depending on how much, you know, stuff Dr. Hemlock has done. There was a queen. There were, a bunch of chest bursters in like storage, like cells, um, and then several large, like adult A, like four drones, uh, some like a strain that she says was nicknamed the Crusher, and then some spare facehuggers.
And all of them are
Oh.
in secure facilities, right?
They are
They're not.
they are all in secure lockup, at least by what the
Okay.
company considers secure.
And how much of the black liquid do they have there?
And Renna says that they have, expedition teams have recovered multiple like ampules, like like the large like vases from Prometheus.
Mhm.
They have quite a few of those. I, as a GM, don't have
Now,
an exact number, but there are quite a lot.
if we blow up the facility, what would happen with the black liquid?
Um, Brenna says that she doesn't like the company hasn't exactly um, tested the explosive effects of the black liquid, but depending on how like there could very well be a chain reaction that could like atomize it uh in the atmosphere, um or within the space on the planet, like not necessarily covering the whole planet, mind you, but like in Alien Covenant when David fucking bombed all the aliens, like he
Yeah.
like let the black
Mhm.
goo in the air and like it sort of blanket everything, like basically that would happen, like she's speculated. I mean, she doesn't know that specific incident, but just what she describes kind of aligns with that little bit of meta knowledge.
And
um,
what would happen? What would the black liquid do to the planet?
The black liquid would kill or mutate any life forms that it makes contact with, but foliage would be unaffected. It would basically, in terms of like the area around, it would be like the aftermath of like the epicenter of a nuclear detonation, but way worse.
Yeah.
It's just that instead of like destroying the entire terrain, it would just destroy every living thing except for like plants.
And what would be the best way to destroy the base if we can get the people out?
If you can get the people out, you can, like the fusion reactor that powers the base. I mean, if you blow that up, it'll destroy the base and probably the mountain that it's built into.
And what would we need to do that? Could we just do a reactor override?
You can
Or do
override
we
the
need to
reactor same
bring.
as a starship. You can use demolition charges. I mean, it's no different than a starship reactor.
And how much explosives if we can't get the override to happen with a failed Comtech roll? What would be the. How much demolitions would we need to blow it?
Um, I mean, it would probably one or two of like the Type 4 breaching charges or whatever they are. That could probably do the trick.
Okay.
Because
Always
basically,
hit the reactor with the shovel until it
yeah,
spots
Send
off.
Arthur in with the shovel. That's a good idea.
yeah. Arthur's a
Okay.
strong boy. He could probably tank the explosion.
Yeah, I mean he's got what, like
I
9 health total?
I have 6 total RMAT Type 4 assault breaching charges, so we could always rig those up if needed.
Okay. So,
And also, I will mention another interesting thing with those breaching charges for anybody who doesn't know or remember. The RMAT charges, you can actually set those either on a timer or remote detonation like C4.
Oh, nice. Great.
And you can also throw them at people.
Why am I not surprised?
um, so then my other question would be, what would be the other, what would be the two rewards?
So the two rewards, Hemlock, or not Hemlock, fucking Becker, says, well, first he asks, do you have any kind of means, like, do you have any kind of plan for infiltrating Dr. Hemlock's facility based on the information that Rena has?
Uh, I would need time to look at all the information and come up with a plan, but right now, no.
Well, Becker, what he suggests is that he says a Marshall raid recently managed to capture a UPP, a Scipitor dropship. And for those who don't know what that is, I mean, obviously the UPP is the like the space thing, like the space socialist, as everybody knows. Um, as for what the Accipiter is, so the Accipiter is basically a Colonial Marine dropship knockoff, but the difference is that it has FDL. Like you can use it as like a short distance dropship to infiltrate enemy territory. Has a compact FTL drive with a limited range of I think 1.2 parsecs. So in other words, you can deploy from your ship in deep space, jump the light speed, and enter the system with that. And it also has air-to-air missiles and a nose gun, and can hold passengers but lacks space for an APC. So Becker basically explains that we captured one of those in a raid somewhat recently, and it wouldn't really be of much use except in a situation like this. So you could use the accipiter and keep it. And then the other thing um, is he says somewhat pensively, it's like due to what you're doing and how many lives you're both saving and avenging, what I'm willing to do is legally cut you a bit of slack if there's ever like what he outlines basically is that if you're, for example, not necessarily when I say get out of jail free card, I mean it's not like something like if you deliberately go into a police station and start killing people like the Terminator, or you rob a bank or try to assassinate the president or something really extreme. That's still punishable by prison or possibly even execution. But if it's something where like you're on a job and a couple of cops are between you and your mission and you have to kill them, Becker will write that off, but it can't happen again. So basically, like a within reason pardon if you ever wind up on the wrong side of the law. Kind of like if any of you have played Skyrim, like when you become a Thane of a hold, and the guards catch you for the first time, you can say, "I'm the Thane, fuck off," and they're like, "Oh, sorry, we didn't know it was you, but if you do this again, we'll bust you," kind of
Okay.
deal. So those are the two rewards that he offers: the accipiter and basically a freebie.
So I said, well, that sounds really good, but maybe with destroying the base, we can add a little something.
Uh,
Maybe you could help us get ownership. And I point back behind wherever the back of the ship would be, the Avalanus. How can you help
and
us get
and
ownership of
Becker
that?
mentions that you know technically the Avalanos would be um, with I mean with the knowledge that the FBI or the company has been conducting like basically committing crimes against humanity and one of their ships being seized. um we can chalk this up to uh being seized in a because you are technically working on behalf of the law, so it's sort of like seized by law enforcement, and in some cases it doesn't get returned to its official owner. So if you want to keep this prize, he has no problem with it.
And you would be able to officially get the paperwork figured out for us.
And he says, yeah, I mean, yeah, consider it done.
I thank him.
Yeah, he says, I mean, you're welcome. I mean, you fought a Conestoga head on and lived to tell the tale.
Yeah,
So
it was a fun fight. Now,
like,
will he give us the 2.5 mil now for the first
um,
part of the mission?
that I would say you would have to do an opposed manipulation to convince him.
Because I tell him we need to get that thing repaired.
Well, he did say that. I
So
mean, in terms of payment, you did already by accepting his offer to go after Dr. Hemlock, you did extend um, you did extend the contract, so you can't by what he's established, you can't cash it in now. But like I said, if you want to try to convince him, you can.
yeah, I'll try talking to him
Uh,
and say, well, if you can give up a little bit up front, we're gonna need, and I'll explain to him we need to make repairs to this. It's got stealth tech, and it'll help with the mission
Okay, so let me see.
ahead.
In terms of skills, because manipulation, there are some modifiers for like Twilight. So, um, more people on your side would not count in this situation because it's literally just you, Rena, and Becker. Um, what you're asking for, so not in the second one. Your opponent suffered damage. You have helped your opponent previously, so far you get a +1. Um, and presented your case very well. I mean, the way it kind of comes off to me a little more of a selfish thing, like not necessarily pertaining to the mission, but well, we just got this ship,
It
but now
is
we want.
you know, that ship is a much better ship, and we have a much higher percentage of getting it done with that ship.
All right, true. So okay,
Otherwise, this ship is just sitting here, and then we got to deal with it.
so present your case very well. You have helped your opponent previously. So that's +2. Now for negative factors, you asked for something valuable or dangerous. I mean, $2.5 million is valuable. So it's -1, and Overall, that is just that's a net positive 1 for you. So
All right.
+1, and also you're not in Foundry, so.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
well, no, I'm not seeing you in the instance. I think you might have timed out. Yeah, I see people disconnecting. Are you guys there?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm here.
Weird.
here.
Try refreshing, like, because I only,
Refreshing.
yeah, because I only see Arthur, Tobias, and Summer in Foundry. So, okay, now I see Tom. And also in the meantime, so while they're doing that, does anybody else want to be doing anything?
Nope. I'm
That
good.
was. I didn't even get the disconnect command message.
Weird. Anyway, so I rolled for Becker, so you can do your opposed roll. Okay. Do you want to push that?
And I'm allowed to push, right?
Yeah, because you're the quote unquote like aggressor. Okay. Oh, very nice.
Nice.
So, are you going to push a second time? Because I think you could do it twice, right? Or only once. Do you have the one that lets you push empathy twice?
No, I failed that twice.
Oh, okay. Well, you can try it again next time. So, but the good news, Becker didn't get any successes. So, um, you, in this case, for manipulation, you get some stunts. But it all is depending on what's reasonable. So, for every additional success in excess of what you need to win the opposed roll, the 3 stunts, your opponent does what you want without demanding a favor in return. Uh, your opponent does more than you ask for example, giving you some useful piece of information. Details are up to the GM. And the third is your opponent is impressed by you and will try to help you later on in some way. Details are up to the GM. So those 3, and you have 2 stunts. And you can
So
do the same thing multiple times.
I'll take the number 2, and maybe he's got a contact that he can recommend that can handle the repairs in a quickened fashion, so I can complete their mission.
So what he'll do, so in terms of like he will get you like, so when you say get you set up with a contact, like it'll still cost money, but what I'll do is I'll say maybe that the repairs to the components that you need to fix the Avalanos, the component damage is like a 20% discount kind of deal.
Okay.
So instead of 100,000 for each component that you need, which a reminder you need 4, instead of that, it'll be 80 grand each. So that he will
Okay.
basically, I mean, obviously he still has to, pay the guy, but he has a contact in one of the shipyards who, like, he mentions that we're basically bringing a ship into the so-called evidence locker and we need to give it a tune-up. Can you handle this? And then the guy's like, sure. So that's one of your stunts. What do you want to do for the other one?
I'll take the third one.
Okay, the third one is he's impressed by you and try to help you on later some way.
Yep. Yeah, it's GM.
Let me make
can-
a note of that somewhere. Hold on. I actually thought of an interesting use for that actually that might not necessarily be from Becker, but still achieves the same thing. But you have the option in character to reject it, but we'll get to that in just a sec. So Becker, he says, like, he thinks it over and he's saying, and so just to be clear, and you're emphasizing that you want to use the Avalanos on this mission.
Correct.
Okay, well he says that you raise some good points, and the ship can, like, this would probably be a very good asset if it means getting all those people out. So what we'll do is we will escort you to. Well, actually, what we'll do is because Becker is established FBI. What he's going to do is he says, we'll have you unhitch the Avalanos and we'll have Shelby tow it. So that way you guys don't get unwanted attention for doing so. Because I can flash my badge, you can't.
Yep.
So he says that we'll bring the Avalanos to to a station, get it tuned up for you, which will probably take maybe like a week or so, because it is a very big ship. Um, but you will have time to be able to handle whatever else you need to handle, i.e., hiring more crew, as we discussed before. Um, but yeah, so he says we'll get you that set up, and then once we get back to Earth, we'll also get you your payment sent over. So that sounds good. Is there anything else?
No.
Yeah.
I
And he
think we're
also
good.
says that what he'll do is that he'll get the accipiter transferred onto the Avalanos. So basically, once you go to once the Avalanos is ready for pickup, the accipiter will be on board.
Okay.
And then
So that
pay you.
means we need to sell drop ships then too, right? Because we have too many damn people.
You can sell the drop ships if you want. The Avalanos is on the or not the Avalanos, the well, the Avalanos can actually hold 4 drop ships as opposed to your 2. So you could
Oh,
have all
okay. Then
yeah. You could have all
yeah,
3.
because we have how many damn shit do we have
Okay,
now?
you have the one drop ship you bought, the Seabiscuit. You have the mercenary or the elite squad dropship that you stole, and then you have the accipiter that Becker is giving you.
Okay.
So that's 3, and then you still have your APC, but that's not a dropship. And
And
also
then the
something I will
Joker's
note:
Wild can hold one, right?
the Joker's Wild cannot hold a dropship. But what I will also mention is that because you would have, if you guys were as thorough as you were hyping yourselves up as like searching the Avalanos, you actually would have found not a military dropship, but you would have found a drop shuttle in the hangar of the Avalanos.
Okay. Did they have an APC in there?
No.
I was hoping it did. I wanted a backup.
So the reason, and also for the drop shuttle, the reason why they had that there was because number one, the drop shuttle can hold more people than a Cheyenne, but the other thing about it is that because the Avalonos cannot make planetfall, they need ways for people to get to and from orbit, and that's what the drop shuttle
Yep.
was for.
Okay.
So you effectively now have 4 drop ships.
All right.
More
Which
for your
means that
collection. What's up?
which means that we have all the drop ships that can fit into the ship.
Bingo.
Orcus,
So what?
we're done collecting.
Well, we can keep the Black Gauntlet if you want, and then we can have two more.
I find it hilarious that you're like, oh my god, we have so many ships, I can't keep track of it. And then the next thing is, oh, I hope we found another thing on this so we can keep it. Like,
No,
no,
I want another APC. So
That's
we had
all
a second
attention.
APC.
You officially got the full Thanos. You've gotten the 5 stones you need for your fleet, man.
Oh god, no, Horgus. No, here Horgus is like
That's a shitty joke.
there's hoarders where it's just his ship is like the hangar is full of vehicles. No, I need this one. I've won it in a lottery.
It would be
Can we
really
have it?
funny if we become pirates after this and just, have another instance of a U.S. intelligence agency funding terrorism.
So,
Orcus, can we get rid of this one? No, we might need it.
Well, no, I was up for selling a dropship too. I mean,
Oh yeah, me too. Let's do that.
okay, well
we
we'll
don't need
cross that
that
bridge.
many
Yeah,
dropships.
we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But in terms of so for Becker, is there anything you bring up to him?
Not everybody at once.
I don't think there's anything else. Is
So,
there?
well, Becker, what he says is that he will, he says, well, Shelby is bringing back um, the, the two bodies in cryo. Do you want to, take over? Like, do you want us to bring over Gray and or Rena? And he holds in, no offense, ma'am. And she just gives like a dry Corporal Hicks, none taken.
I'll ask the doctor. Did she want to go with us to this
Yeah, because
base,
what she
or
actually that actually ties in perfectly. Remember when I said a minute ago that the whole will try to help you on later in some way? You're getting that, but not from Becker. Rena will actually volunteer. She says that she wants to help. She's says like she's it says like shamefully that she's caused enough damage and she wants to make it right, and she will like she wants to personally help put an end to all this suffering. The company needs to be held accountable, and I feel the need to atone for my role in it. So she is volunteering to help you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with that because I have a because if we don't have it, I don't think on this ship, but they don't have the VR command thing on this ship, do they?
A VR thing.
The thing that lets you command combat from. It's that big.
Oh, the table.
Yeah, they don't have that on this ship, right? We would have to buy one.
Uh, I feel like a ship like this definitely would have one. So
Okay. Because we could have her stationed there and be watching all of our cameras and be able to. So I wouldn't want to take her in with us, I don't think, but she
well,
could
here's the
at least
thing you
give
want to
us.
consider with Rena is that if you are at least temporarily um bringing her into your crew, uh, Rena has so I need to make a note of that because I accidentally opened a folder in Foundry, a folder I shouldn't have because it has future characters in it.
Oh, is that what flashed on my screen?
I don't know. But anyway, so Rena, here's the thing with Rena. She has, in terms of stats, Rena has wit 7, observation 5, and a bunch of talents that none of your characters can learn because she's a scientist.
Yeah, we don't have a scientist on.
Yeah, she has
That's why I was like, what do we
analysis,
need a
she has
science lab
breakthrough,
for?
and she also has other ones like group psychology and jury rig.
Yeah, that's for future to try to hire on as a scientist because we don't have one of them. But um,
You'll assume tonight.
I'm good. Is everybody good with her joining us?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm
Is
good
that a
with that.
possibility?
Yeah, because what Rena, she does say that she will gladly help. Though the one caveat that she has is that she is actually um, courtesy of all that she has seen and all that she has been forced to partake in, that she has become a pacifist by nature, as in she believes in self-defense, but she is not going to be like actively going around shooting people, in part because she's not very good at it. But um, she says that if she were to go along, she does not want to be used as like a frontline scout or a soldier. She's best suited as like an analyst for stuff that you guys encounter in the field. Um,
And I look her perfect. That's exactly what I was thinking. You could watch from the ship here. We've got our systems all linked in, and you could give us any feedback and help from here. And then anything we bring back,
Well,
you
what I
can
will
examine.
advise you out of character is, as Rena said um in the fucking like in the dossier she wrote up on the planet that Dr. Hemlock is on, is that it has a very
Oh, it's
dense
got that
atmosphere.
weird. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
radio interference. So if you want her to be your analyst, you would have to bring her along with you,
Yeah, sorry. Okay,
which
I
she
forgot
has
about
no
that.
problem with doing. And she actually says that it might help you out because number one, she has like clearance codes and knows protocol and stuff.
Now, big thing I've got for her is can she tell us about the aliens and their abilities and the best way to defeat them?
Um, she mentions that based on their the data she has on them, because she was involved somewhat in the like research on the xenomorphs. She also like pirated a whole bunch of data on them, that they are very susceptible to fire. um, which, I mean, she doesn't realize you guys already know that. They're very susceptible to fire. Any sort of attack that would draw blood would spill corresponding amounts of acid, which eats through anything it makes contact with. Um, She mentions the fact that xenomorphs, like a number of fun facts about aliens is that they um, the acid blood, they are entirely resistant to vacuum, like the vacuum of space. They don't need to breathe. Um, Cold temperatures are a no sell against them. They're very resistant to radiation, just to name some of the interesting properties of them.
Have they done any researches on how to get the face huggers off people successfully?
Um, if in terms of so there is no way to remove a face hugger without killing the host, but it is possible to remove the chest burster with sufficient medical, like with sufficient technology. As in, like trying to do it by yourself is not possible, but if you have something like a Pauling med pod, it is.
Okay. And that creature that the Crusher, I think she called it.
Yes.
What can she tell us about that?
She describes it as a fairly large uh, quadruped alien that has a very large head crest like a triceratops. Doesn't have the horns, but it has like a very large, very bullet resistant head, and it has a tendency of, basically charging like a bull and fucking ramming you. So basically, Mike Reynolds if he was a xenomorph.
And is that one affected by fire also?
They are all affected by fire.
Okay. So my suggestion would be for us to make sure we all have some fire weapons.
Arthur revs up his flamethrower.
Oh,
so
yeah.
does Martin.
Oh, you have one too?
Yeah, pick one up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you have a flame war for 3. Nice.
Flammenwerfer.
I need to go pick up some more fire bombs.
Some
Sorry.
terrible items.
I ask security and stuff like that. So, you can show the team the map if you like.
Yeah. So I will.
Since we do have the floor plans.
Yeah, because Rena does give you the floor plans. So I'm gonna activate the new map. So it might take
So a couple things that me and Cody talked about because I won't be here for the attack.
Mm.
There is a sewer system that we'll be able to access and get it into any part of the base through the sewers.
Shit.
So we'll be walking through the shit. But
Yay!
So
Infiltration
quick
through
thing,
crap hole.
I feel like maybe we don't want to go in the sewers on the planet aliens. It just seems like that would be a place that they'd like to hang out. I think I'd rather get shot at going through the front door.
so the base is built into a mountain, and the only way in is through the hangar or through the sewers. Or the third option is through the ventilation system, which we would need to get in from above.
but with
But
your suits.
you can't fit through with your air suits.
Mm.
So here's what I was trying to talk Cody into when we were talking about this. So a two-prong attack. All right. So the circle is the guy that we need to get his location. That's his office. So that's where most likely we will find him somewhere over there. So what I was thinking was doing a two-prong attack. We could come in the front door if you want with the primary attack, but I was thinking sewers into the security, which is this square here, and attacking at the security and then killing the security with cameras and stuff, so they won't know that we're over here too.
Before that, are you guys going to make a side trip to an infirmary and try to steal a bunch of drugs?
Yeah, a bit of PCP.
No, I was just.
Yeah, let's kill the nurse too for no reason.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
I think we
classic.
can count off the dice with that.
Love it. You know we have to kill the nurse, and then someone has to use her as a human shield.
Yeah. And we gotta take out her heart too, right?
Yep.
It better be a big nurse then.
Well, to be
If we're
fair,
talking about human shields.
it's less unethical to use someone as a human shield if they're already dead. So we just kill her first.
Okay.
So
The bonus
here's the
point.
fun part.
This is the full transformation into an alcoholic monk.
So here's the
Yeah,
fun part. If the frontal assault is hitting here, and that's where their forces are going to come to, which then opens up the second group to go up and capture the doctor. Now, they're the closest to the reactor, which is back here.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think that whoever's going to blow the reactor is part of that team. Now, this team, after they dealt with this, they've got to deal with getting the people out. And I don't remember where the people were.
Rena would have pointed out the people, like the detention level is here.
Okay. So they are closest to getting the people out from there. So after they've caused the ruckus here, then they need to move to over here to get these people out. Now they have one drop ship. They'll have one drop ship there at all times. And that's the drop ship that we're going to get those people into and get them out. Now here's the hard part. So we can't rely on the gauntlet. The gauntlet's going to be, was it 10 hours away?
Roughly, it'd definitely take at least a shift to
Yeah.
get there.
So he's 10
Though
hours
technically,
away.
actually, if you're going to be using the Avalanos as the new Black Gauntlet, that would actually really speed up the time because the Black Gauntlet has an FTL of 5, the Avalanos is 2.
So we're looking at what, 4 to 5 hours now?
Like probably a full shift, honestly, like a standard shift.
Okay. So we'll be going in on this stealth drop ship. So we'll have the stealth drop ship plus their drop ship.
Okay,
At
so
least it's not 17 days.
yeah, well, because what I was gonna, because the thing is that you know, in terms of a stealth drop ship, one thing that Rena will actually suggest to Horgus Hartman is the fact that because she knows the like the access codes and protocol of this place like the back of her hand, she can easily just like if you wanted to use the Avalanos to enter the space there and then deploy to the surface of the planet, you could get down there without any of the wiser. I mean, if you want to use the Accipiter to go in stealthily, you can, but the Avalonis would basically already be in system and ready to respond. So it wouldn't be like you would have to hastily like get out and hope that everybody would be there like in time. Like you could just have the Avalonis in the system, so that if things go hot, you can just get all the people on the Avalonis and get the fuck out.
Okay.
Because what she proposes is that you could have like she identifies the captain of the guards as one Captain Hunter A.W. Longbow, and if you mentioned that around Arthur, the A.W. is artificial womb, so this guy was an artificial womb soldier. Um, but she basically says like if somebody poses vocally or better yet visually as Longbow, I mean the alibi she was thinking of during the conversation you had with Becker is that she mentions that the Avalanos has returned um, to the facility, Captain Nolan was unfortunately killed in action. The ship had to get repairs, and their like comms were damaged, and so we have not been able to report back in. But rest assured, we are back. And basically says like if you pose like if I give the access codes and you pose as Captain Longbow, we might be able to make this work. So that's a suggestion she gives you, but you are obviously free to, agree or
Does
disagree.
anybody look like the captain?
I was just about to ask.
The captain, remember, they have like these guys have, partial face concealing things. So it's not like you're looking for visual confirmation. Like as long as you give, you know, the way Rena explains is that if you at least more or less look the part, which you guys, I mean, if you have at least one uniform, which I mean, you could very well have like from either one of the guys you've already killed or maybe from the captain himself. Like if you take the captain's uniform, uh, and have his helmet on, you could very well like as long as you give the right access codes, like clearance codes and stuff, then they'll buy it.
We might have to take his uniform to the dry cleaners, considering the whole explosive decompression thing.
And do we did collect all the? Do we have enough suits that we could all wear black suits? There
You
would have
would not be
been.
able to wear your eco suits, but you could wear black personnel armor and enemy fatigues.
And how good is their suits?
The M3 personnel armor, which is again Colonial Marine armor, has armor 6 compared to your armor 8. The plus side of you wearing those instead of your eco suits is that you could fit through the ventilation shafts.
No, what I'm saying is we go in as the guards and just walk in.
Yeah,
We
that's
land with the drop ship and we could just go find the dude and get him out.
Take him out.
yeah, because Rena actually does agree that that is a very logical course of action, and also suggests that the one caveat is that weapon wise, she says that while she's not necessarily an expert on firearms, she is well aware of what weapons are standard issue at company facilities, which boils down to four things. Number one is the heavy pulse rifles, which they use routinely at the like on deployments. But in this facility, they use ES7 shotguns, ES4 electrostatic pistols, and Flammenwerfer 3s. So if you want to look the part, you would have to be using one of those four weapons.
And the flamers are what we use, right?
Yeah, the Flammenwerfer 3s, like that's what, Arthur has. I mean, I know Martin said he picked one up. I know Evelyn
Now,
has
are
a
they?
shotgun.
Yep. And I also have a pistol.
Yeah, Igor has a shotgun as well. I know that.
Does the flamers use range or does it use heavy?
It uses well. There's no heavy weapon skill in this. You're
Oh,
thinking of
that's right.
Twilight. Like all
Yeah,
all
sorry.
guns and ship weapons use range combat. So yes, the flamethrowers are based on heavy weapons, or not heavy. Jesus Christ, they are based on range combat.
And they're all short range, aren't they?
No, the Flammenwerfer 3 is long range.
Oh, is it? Okay. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think that you want to try to sneak in acting like them and everybody just has a pistol, shotgun, and a flamer?
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen?
We burn everybody.
I think that's probably one of the better outcomes, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I like it too.
And we get
Yeah,
he
I like
says
the
he likes it.
infiltration idea.
Or we get acid splashed. Fuck knows.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, you won't get acid splash if you use the flamethrowers.
perhaps we should stop by and pick up some more flamethrowers then. That seems like a good
Or
thing
at
to
least
do.
reloads.
Did we find some reloads and guns on the ship? I mean, there was 10 of them. How many did the 10 of them have? I mean,
So the
they would all
10.
have the
So
standard weapons, right?
well, let me put it this way. So the guys who were like so the weapons like the weapons officers and the two guys at comm terminals were not carrying weapons because they were just crewmen. Whereas there were two guards on the bridge with Captain Nolan. They had heavy pulse rifles. So what you're looking
Did
at is
they?
that you've what?
So they didn't have any flamers or no other weapons, like they swapped out.
So let me put it this way: their armory, like they would have weapons, or like they. Let me. I'm trying to find like. So they would have had, like if they went to the armory, they would have their selection of weapons. They typically are armed with the heavy pulse rifles. Um, but I will, if anybody wants to see how many weapons there are in the like that would be left over in the Avalanos, like in the hangar or not the hangar, the armory, I will do a roll to see how many there are.
Yeah, so we would need the three weapons that are their standard on
Well, there are
base.
four weapons
That's what we needed. Pistol, shotgun, and flamer, right?
and
What's the
heavy
fourth?
pulse rifle.
Oh, they do. I didn't think they had a heavy pulse rifle.
I kept
Okay.
saying that they do. That's what they're
I
armed
thought
with
it
every
was
time
for
you.
mission only. Sorry, I thought that was mission only.
So I'm gonna do so what I'll do is so let's say uh HPR is 4 7. So this is the order that I'm going to do in Foundry that I'm going to do the roll for the weapons in. So I'm going to roll a
Okay.
46 uh and see how many of each weapon there are. Okay, so let's see. So there are 5 heavy pulse rifles, uh 3 pistols, 1 shotgun, and 4 flamethrowers.
Ooh.
I like the 4 flamethrowers.
Yeah, that's nice.
So
What about the reloads? Were there any reloads?
I'm gonna do a 1d3 or 4d3 reload for that to see how many reloads there are. Same order. Okay. So one spare reload. Because keep in mind that the guys that were deployed to the station to try to kill you, they took most of the ammo with them.
Mm-hmm.
So there's one spare reload for the heavy pulse rifles, one ES4 reload, 2 shotgun reloads, and 2 flamethrower reloads.
Okay. Well,
Can you add that to our inventory, Cody?
Do you want me to put it on the Avalanos?
We need to move everything from Black Gauntlet to the other one.
Okay, let me see. I'm going to configure ownership. I'm going to set you guys all to owner of the Avalonos. And then, um, as for
Because you could drag
weapons,
from one to the other, right?
yeah, you should be able to do that. So if you want to try doing that now, then do it.
Okay.
do it.
I mean, I know you could drag crits from one ship to another.
Yep, you can drag.
Okay, so you guys drag all of your weapons to that, or like all your gear to that, and then in the meantime, so, and then the last bit of prep work. So we'll figure out. Like I say, we can figure out who gets what weapons. Um, like, well, actually, hold on. What I'll do is, um, so I need to take a look at what everybody has. So where are the PCs? So Arthur is set because he has his flamethrower. Evelyn has a shotgun and an ES4. Drill Sergeant Horgus, you would have your pick of the 4 different weapons I mentioned: the heavy pulse rifle, the ES4 pistol, the shotgun, and the flamethrower. Um, so one or more of those.
I'm gonna burn people.
Okay. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll move your pulse rifle to your footlocker and grenade launcher as well. Okay, so flamethrower, lemon for 3. And then so So there's that. So you got your weapon. Igor already has a shotgun, so I'll leave him be. Martin, you have your flame and morpher. Uh, Summer has an ES4. Would you want a like a shotgun or something? Summer?
Yeah, sure, shotgun.
Okay. Okay, so ES7 shotgun. Um, and then um, and then as for chef, what do you want?
Sorry?
Well, I was talking to Tobias.
Okay.
Ghost, you there?
Putting the nephew to sleep again.
He probably went to sleep with him. Okay, well, we'll cross that bridge with him when we get to it. So everybody has at least one like disguise weapon, and also we need to address is two things. So Rena actually, what she will do is I'll say this much. Well, no, she wouldn't have it in this case, but as for the NPCs, um, are you going to be bringing any of them with you?
Well, there's 10, so we've got 10 suits, so I would probably take 10 people.
Well, let's put it this way. So you've got of your entire crew of players. I'm going to drag your tokens onto the map here. So like we'll divide them into teams. So we got Horgust, Evelyn, Arthur, and I'm just doing this nice little symmetrical thing. Igor presumably, Martin, Summer, and Ohio Jones. So that's 7. Uh, Rena is going with you, but as a doctor, she doesn't need a suit because she has her own scientist, uniform.
Yep.
And then, well, I'll move her up here. And then, as for, uh, so you got three suits remaining, like 3 uniforms and suits of armor.
So we'll take Amelia, because she's a
Okay.
flamer.
Yeah, she's got a flamethrower.
Johnny,
Okay.
and hopefully one of the people we pick up.
Oh yeah, like from the people you want to hire.
Yeah,
Which speaking of, yeah. So I
we
will
could do
ask.
that offline if you want.
Yeah, we can do that offline if you want. Like between sessions, like, I mean, are you gonna want to hire all 4 of them?
I would have to go look and see which for you. I don't know. I don't know if I need the medic.
Okay.
I probably gonna need another gunner.
Okay.
So I'll probably want a pilot, a sensor, and 2 gunners.
Okay. So I'll have to write up another gunner, but we have uh Albert Johns, who is a gunner. Andrea Delgado is a pilot, and a dramatic pause. Phil Sweetwater is a Comtech guy.
I've heard that name somewhere
Yeah.
before.
I don't know where did you put them?
I put them in or not Crew, Allied NPCs.
Don't see them.
All right, well, hold on. I'll set it to Andrea.
All right, now I
Configure.
see that one.
So Andrea, Johns, and Sweetwater. I even using the original artwork for him. And Emily, yeah, you
Nice.
read over his appearance, signature item, and personal data if you want a good laugh.
Oh, I can't wait.
Well, you should have viewership over him, so like you guys should
Oh,
be
I
able to
had to
see it.
relaunch
Oh,
table.
you do? Okay.
I don't know. I don't know why, but like recently, when it like the last map and this one, I don't know why, but I for some reason just have issues like
Oh, that's
loading
weird.
it. I can't load it at all.
Okay. Yeah. So, but anyway, Horgus, be sure to deduct the like the 3 grand I think we discussed, or not 3 grand, the
Yeah,
300 grand.
I'll figure out money during the week offline
Okay.
after we figure out how
Okay.
much upgrades, because you need to
Yeah.
find out about weapon changing, if what we can bring over,
Yeah,
and that'll
this is the only
affect
group that gives
price.
me fucking homework. Anyway, so but yeah, of the
Welcome to Vietnam.
yeah, so of the like the NPCs you already have, as well as the three you just hired, Johns, Delgado, and Sweetwater. Which of those three would you want to bring, if any?
Probably Albert,
Okay. So
because that'll
John's
be our 10th.
yeah, he you know he well yeah, John's like, yes, my first actual deployment. Um so all right, so you got John's let's see, one, two, so yeah, so that's all 10 of your people. And then as for a dropship pilot, you can what I'll do is I'll say that actually, hold on, wait. Technically, you actually have an 11th suit. The reason why is because Captain Longbow is the 11th. There were 10 other guys. So you have an 11th suit.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, because Captain Longbow was armored up just like the rest of his men. So I'm assuming Drill Sergeant Horgus is wearing Longbow's uniform, if he's going to pose as the captain, and that leaves 10 other suits. So what I'll say is, in Horgus, in the event that Miller is not here, which NPC would you want, or unless you want Miller to be an NPC, which NPC would you want to bring in?
Uh, wondering. Uh, don't know. I mean, I'm thinking maybe.
I mean, if you want to figure that out later, you can.
I, I, I really want to bring big Mr. Mike, but because he's just like the last one that shit. We don't have the skill. Where's Mike? He's got everything.
Yeah, because he's got Comtech 3, Piloting 3, Heavy Machinery
He
3.
can't do anything good, but if you need something that I can do it.
So, yeah, you could have Mike if you wanted to, if you really wanted to.
Because I mean, Heather with her observation is so nice.
But keep in mind, you have Rena with her observation, and Rena blows Heather out of the water.
I know, but you might be splitting apart. We might be splitting the party
True.
in this thing. So, because there's so many things we have to do. We have to rescue people. We have to get the the doctor, and we need to blow the override the the reactor.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write some tags and see if, hold on, where is the writing tool? So I'm going to write like some different teams, and you guys drag your tokens where you want to go. So, let's see, Doctor.
I love how most of the players, myself included, we're just so indecisive about things and it makes stuff so much harder. We can't make up our goddamn minds.
So Doctor, uh, here, prisoners.
And I saw that about Sweetwater. I love that, man.
Okay. So, all right. So basically, for
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Can I interrupt, Cody?
what?
We're bringing Andrea.
Uh,
Oh no, if we bring Mike, we have a pilot. No, we need Mike to come with us because, well, we do have is it Arthur that now that can pilot, but we
No,
are
it's,
stealing another dropship,
so here's
so
what
we
you
need
could
a
do.
pilot.
So here's what you could do.
Speaking of indecisive,
So as I was saying, what you could do is you could have like pilots on standby in the other dropships. So like you could have Andrea in one of the dropships or Mike in one of the dropships, and then bring Mike or Andrea, whoever you don't bring with you, you can bring as your team, like as part of your team. And then when you need to make your escape, then you have Andrea or whoever pile into the other dropship and fly that. So
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because we're going to be landing in the same
yeah,
general area.
so. So anyway, so while we're figuring that out, so what I want to do right quick, so everybody who is going to like there are three teams from what I understand. The people who are going for Dr. Hemlock, the people who are going for the prisoners, and the people who are going for security. Yes?
Yep.
Okay, drag yourselves under which group you want to go with in Horgus, and then just tell me which NPC you want to go with who.
Does the doctor want to be in the group that goes after the doctor?
Yes. She has no compunction about doing that.
All right, so go put that over there.
Okay, so
Put
Rena will
her
go
there then.
with that. Very nice.
I'm thinking going prisoners, mainly because of his Orgus's manipulation to get them moving quicker. We might need the manipulation.
Okay, I kind of figure you'd want to go after Hemlock, but that's cool.
I
Because you don't really need to manipulate the prisoners. If you say we're here to get you out, then they're all there. Then they're there. Whereas if you want to say try to convince Dr. Hemlock to surrender, then that's going to be a manipulation roll, and that is not Rena or Arthur.
okay, then I'll go there then.
Okay.
Actually, I think I can threaten him. I have like a skill that lets me use strength
I forgot about that menacing.
And I'm a fucking monster.
No, he shows up in his. He has like a black belt and like booze stains on his like karate uniform. And he like twirls his shovel and does like the Obi-Wan like your move pose.
You want to do that? You want to force him? And then I'll go security.
Works for me. And
okay.
it's not like it is not as good of a manipulation because it's like, you know, only useful when you're threatening someone and it comes with all the context of threatening someone. But I don't think we're gonna, you know, be able to convince this guy like, hey buddy, don't you wanna go to prison?
So the joy of painting is the joy of prison.
Pretty much.
As Simmons found out, but anyway. So let's see. So we got Summer and Drill Sergeant Horgus going for the security. Dr. Hemlock going after Dr. Hemlock, and Arthur going after Dr. Hemlock. What about the rest of you?
So who is going to handle the reactor? What team is going to handle the reactor?
That's up to you.
I don't know if I want I mean, the doctor's back there already, but do we really want to risk the doctor going to deal with the reactor?
Well, she wouldn't be killing anyone.
I mean, I could be part of the team that goes after the reactor.
Okay.
Which means that I would be too.
Yep, figures. So would that be a fourth team, or do you want one of these three to also have reactor duty? Because keep in mind, in this case, you are totally safe to split the party until somebody gets caught.
Yeah.
Like if you, as long as you
put the reactor team.
All right, make an additional team for the reactor.
Yeah. Because I'm not really worried about prisoners yet, because security team can handle prisoners. Once we drop security, they could go and handle getting prisoners. That was my original plan.
Okay, so you want, instead of prisoners to be like security/prisoners.
Yeah. Because that'll need to be the largest group, because that's the and that group could split and hold security and get prisoners.
Okay, so just so let's see. So Martin and Evelyn are going for the reactor. Uh, and
Yep.
then basically everybody else down here, because I don't know, Ghost, I don't know if you're there or not, but where do you want to go if so? Dollars to Donuts says he's asleep, but
Put Ghost with doctors.
okay. So Chef
Yeah, I
is
was
going.
about to say we could use one more.
Yeah. Okay, and then
And then I've got 3 heavies and a doc with the security.
okay.
That's good. And then who's that? Is that
So let's see. You've
and
got
then Summer, and I need Summer because once we take control of security, she needs to hack and deal with killing cameras and shit.
okay. So what do you want with Igor, Johns, Zavadska, and Johnny? What do you want?
Security. All 4 of
All
them
of.
security.
Okay, so security, 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 and security. Okay. So that is your team, I take it?
Yep.
Okay. Um, with that battle plan, sort of put together, I think this is a pretty decent stopping point, if you guys all think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go over XP, so everybody, rev up those character sheets, and we will get into it. Developing your character. All right, so, usual 5 for everybody, and then, every 6th question or more, you get 1 point. So, everybody participated. Did you, follow your personal agenda?
Yep.
Did you
Yep.
risk your life for your buddy? I would say in this case nobody did anything specifically like, taking a bullet for their friend or sacrificing themselves or any dumb shit like that. So, no. Did you challenge or stand up to your rival?
Sorry, what was
No,
the
I
first
kissed his ass, so no.
My rival is sobriety. Does that count?
um, can you repeat the first one,
The
please?
first, so the first 2 questions, the first 3 questions. So there was participate in the game session, which you did. Did you follow your personal agenda?
Yeah, I caught the last 2. I
Okay.
didn't catch
Okay.
this one.
Well, the previous one was did you risk your life for your buddy? And like I said, nobody did because nobody did anything specifically like, putting themselves in danger to rescue their friend kind of deal. Um, so and then nobody stood up to their rival. Did you make a panic roll?
Nope.
I know for a fact that Summer did because she got that panic result where she doesn't. She was
Tobias did too.
Tobias. Okay, so he gets 1 too, but I'm not telling him up his XP. He needs to fucking do it himself, and I don't know where he is. Did you
Tell me how
overcome
you
a?
really feel.
I just did.
Yeah, don't hold back.
Did you overcome a
Come on,
dangerous
do
event using violent or non-violent means?
Nah.
Yeah. If Rena was a PC, she would have survived a meeting with Horgust.
Yeah.
Where, there would I could imagine it now. It's like start talking to rival PTU till you fucking die. um, but which speaking of which, I have something like one more thing in store after XP. So, a dangerous event, did you make a significant discovery or revelation? You absolutely did. Like, you finally found out what the hell is going on. Did you perform an extraordinary action of some kind? I would say Martin blasting out the bridge of the ship and killing everybody on board was pretty cool.
Vavoom.
Yep, so you get that 1 point, Martin, and did you earn any money? You did, so. Anybody wants to do any wits rolls? Or learn any skills, you may do so.
Um,
Oh shit. Ignore that.
Yeah, you can re-roll if you want. Just ignore the stress. Like just like because especially because you would not have stress right now.
Oh god damn it! I'm never gonna get this influence.
Oh, I can't let
I'm going to boost my contact by 1.
You can if you want,
Actually,
but
no, not my contact. What was it again?
well, I
One of the other
suggested
ones.
stamina,
Yeah.
close combat, mobility. Those are 3.
Hey, what does the Flammenwerfer use?
It uses range combat.
Range combat.
Okay, well that one's at 5. That's max, right?
Yep.
Okay, so stamina it is.
Yep.
No, and well, I
I
can grab
will.
2, of course.
Yes.
4 and 4, so that
Oh.
is 10.
You were saying something, Summer?
I
Maybe.
will bump up my contact to 5.
Nice.
To learn weapon specialists. Nobody
Would
has
normally
that.
be a
They
wits
do
roll, but
I think
there are several people who already have it, so you can learn that.
that-
What was that? Wits roll, Horgust?
Rolling for born leader.
And you got it.
Yes, I got that one.
All right, so
That
add
one's
that.
an awesome one.
So add
Oh
add that to
boy!
your sheet.
Finally.
How do
Um,
you? You can do that one. I can never find that book in the book.
okay, so born leader is here. There we go. It should be on your sheet now.
Perfect.
Um,
Thank you.
okay, so born leader is a thing. Summer, you were saying something, I believe, about weapon specialist.
Yeah, I want to learn it for
Okay.
my shovel.
Oh, uh, I have
Possible or
weapon specialist, but I have it for the flamethrower. Does that count, or is
You
that
well, here's the thing with weapon specialists. You can use it multiple times once per weapon class, such as melee, heavy weapons,
Yeah.
pistols. So you could, Arthur, you could learn weapon specialist again for your shovel.
okay? Well, I
Well,
kind of
let's practice
also
together.
want that.
Okay. So hold on. So both of you want the weapon specialist for your shovel?
Yeah.
Okay. Well
Yes.
then add weapon specialist and make a specific note that it's for your shovel.
Oh, so we don't have to roll for that?
No, because like basically everybody and their mother has it. Like fucking Martin has it. Uh, Arthur has it. I think Evelyn has it. No, no, she
Nope.
doesn't.
I need to learn it
Yeah.
eventually.
So I know at least 2 people have it. So, so you can just learn it and then just say it's heavy weapons, or not heavy weapons for shovels. In the meantime, so anybody else going to learn any skills or talents? But anyway, hopefully that was a fun session.
Absolutely.
Glad to hear it. I mean, I know there was a lot of mostly dialogue with Horgus, but in fairness, I mean he's not going to be here next time, so um, that and it was kind of plot critical. But that aside, hopefully the space battle and everything else was entertaining. So
Choof choof.
yep. And you
Okay,
finally got
I'm gonna head
you
out.
got
Have a
all right.
good
You
time,
heading out,
guys.
Summer? See ya. And also, just as a reminder, real quick,
Yep.
we are going to play again next week. So if we have enough people who show up,
Great.
so see you guys on the 18th.
All right.